wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the girl from that alien movie you watch on demand. Our worlds have been brought together thanks to DirecTV Stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at directtv.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona. Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene. You need to tune in to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com. KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, yeah. Hi, Randy.
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm all right.
You seem like you're a little swimmy headed today, like your head's full of is kind of swimming. Your head kind of swimming, is it?
No. Well, you know, I needed a very soothing atmosphere right now. My house is not a fun place to be in right now.
Well, I can understand. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
After last night's game. So
what do you? I don't know what you're talking about.
Just saying. I'll tell you what. Well, let me give you a little preview of the sorts of things this show is going to be about by letting you know that Todd Bowles is interviewing with the Vikings, the Bears, before the Buccaneers play the Rams. And Dan Quinn has 4 job interviews this week for head coaching jobs. The Bears, the
Cowgirls.
Bears, Broncos, Dolphins, and Vikings. So the reason I bring that up is if anything were going to happen, it needs to happen today or tomorrow.
Anything needs to happen. It needs to happen today.
Yeah, the firing of a guy who can't seem to win more games at the end of the season than he does in the beginning. The firing of a guy who probably does need it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're being too hard on him. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Kingsbury's got to go. Kingsbury's got to go. And now I was a believer at the beginning of the season, so I can't just jump ship on Kyler Murray right away. Although at the end of the season, every critique I had about him at the beginning and as the years go by has come true. So I don't know what to make of a lot of it. I think maybe you're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to Kyler Murray, but Kingsbury, I don't see any reason to keep him around.
Well, the only thing that I can say at this point is 2019 was Kingsbury's first season. Am I correct here? 2019?
2019.
All right. The team went 5-10-1. Last year, the team went 8-8, if I'm not mistaken. This year, the team went 11-6. Now, to me, that's all improvements. However, yes, you're right. There seems to be an issue with finishing the season that needs to be rectified.
Well, not just with the Cardinals, but all the way back in his 6 years at Texas Tech, he lost 5 of 6, 4 of 6, 4 of 6, 6 of 8, 6 of 8, 5 of 5. Those are the last games of those seasons. A couple of games, Cardinals, 7 of 9, 5 of 7, 5 of 6 at the end of the season. Can't really say that's an absolute trend, but then if you tag on the other 6 years, so that's 9 years of being a head coach of football teams, this is a problem. This is more than a trend.
That's who he is. I agree that there needs to be something done. This team was too talented not to be able to finish strong and at least win the first wild card game. And we've proven that this team could beat the Rams early on this season. The problem that I see is this offense is too one-dimensional.
Okay.
And I've been saying that all along, one-dimensional.
Well,
once the other teams get some video on you and they study what you do offensively and they take a look at Kyler Murray and his evasion tactics, they know how to attack him. This is the NFL. These are the best players in the world. This is not college football. This is the best in the world. So, if he cannot change the offense, then I think he has to go. If he continues this, but how do you argue
history
with
shows he will.
3 years? The last 3 years, though, the record has improved. The last 3 years.
Is that what you wanted?
Year,
an improvement, or did you want a Super Bowl?
I thought that the improvement you split a little bit and say, okay, I'll give Cliff a little bit of credit, but I feel like the improvement is you also got to give some credit to Keim and the talent that's in here. And sometimes that talent wins despite Cliff Kingsbury. And there's so many times, especially in the second half of the season, where there were so many plays where I don't know what the point of the play being called was. And there was so much of, all right, Kyler, you'll figure it out, right? Just make something happen, which is what he was asked to do last year. And that's not what he was asked to do at the beginning of this season when the team started hot. They were all playing in concert, the defense, the offense, the running game. And I just got really tired in the second half of the season of watching this team not look prepared, not just for big games, just for games, just games for teams that you ought to just wax. They weren't able to do it. How do you not put that on the head coach?
And you also need to put on the head coach when your quarterback has a defeated look on his face, a frustration, a bewildered look, like the world is ending in the first damn quarter. He was sitting there staring off into space. And it was really telling on the Manning cast when Russell Wilson was talking to Peyton Manning and Eli and saying, well, here at this moment, I'd be running up and down the sidelines trying to rally up the troops. Come on, guys, we can do this. And then they cut to a shot of Kyler Murray, who's just sitting there like shoulders slumped and just staring off into space like, what have I done with my life? That's not a good sign. Now, do you blame the coach, or is this just the fact that Kyler might be a little soft?
It might be a little bit of both, but I'll give you a really great example of how you handle that as a coach. If you remember back in the NBA playoffs, I believe it was game 3. It was that moment where Giannis just absolutely terrorized DeAndre Ayton. And they came back from the commercial break, and DeAndre Ayton is sitting on the bench by himself, shoulders slumped, his head is down because he felt really bad. And Monty Williams comes on over and basically talks him back up. And you can watch the body language of DeAndre Ayton sort of go back up. And maybe you can't get that out of Kyler.
But you can't get that out of Cliff.
But Cliff ought to try, because
he didn't even try.
You need to. That is QB1.
And you didn't see a quarterback coach over there talking to him either, did you?
Nobody from the staff. And to me, again, that is a head coaching issue. The head coach has to go, okay, you know your players, you know your quarterback, you know that Kyler's temperamental. Like this is not news to you. How do I get him re-engaged in this football game? Because you know what? It's the second quarter and it's not over.
You know, you guys are 100% right. You bring up great points, and I can't argue with any of them. And I'm not trying to argue with any of them. I'm just trying to point out before you start getting the ropes out, and let's execute him, hang him from the yard arm, as it were. You know, you have to look at some of the other things. The team has improved over 3 years. Now, do I agree with the play calls of Cliff Kingsbury and whoever else is calling plays for the Arizona Cardinals? No, I don't. No, I not at all.
Well,
do I agree that Kyler Murray needs to have his ass kicked because he's too soft? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
With Cliff Kingsbury's 9-year record of starting seasons well and ending them badly, what good does improvement do you? What good does that improvement do you if you can't finish in the end? Does you nothing.
It would be nice if the playoffs, we started the season with them. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Cliff Kingsbury would have won a Super Bowl by now. Unfortunately, you play those games at the end of the season.
Yes.
And that's when he's at his worst.
We got to shorten the season to 6 games. That'll do it.
No. Look, the bottom line is that the team is mismanaged right now. They didn't look prepared last night. They didn't look fired up. They didn't look like they were ready to go at all. So if you want to, this was very disappointing for me last night. However, being a lifelong Arizona sports fan, it doesn't surprise me.
Well, that's what the Berg says. Typical top tier pro sports. It's what Arizona does. Fails in the big moments. Don't talk about the Rising. They're not top tier, he says. Dude, why you gotta take a swipe at them? I wasn't even thinking about them yet.
Nobody was.
I'm with everything you guys say, and but you know, again, let's look at Arizona sports right now. Suns go all the way to the finals. Was that a success? No, because they lost the finals.
Can I just say this though?
A success? No, it was not a success.
Wait, hold on. About the Suns, at least they were consistently through the season successful. They had their highs, they had their lows. But if you look at the Cardinals, the brakes got hit on them in week 12 or 13. It wasn't like they just had a close game at the end and lost it. We'd all feel pretty good about it. It's like, well, they got pretty far this time, and we'd be saying the same thing you are. Oh, their record has improved. Look, they finally got to a playoff game. Better luck next time, guys. But there is this screeching brakes sound that happens with this team the last 3 years, and with Cliff Kingsbury's teams the last 9 years that happens late in the season. And I don't know how you can continue to forgive that.
Well, I'm not forgiving anything. I am just saying I'm trying to look at positives here. The only positive I can take away is the record of the team has progressively gotten better.
Now, the defense has its own share of the blame. They started off pretty bad at the beginning, but then they settled in and they were playing their hearts out, but got zero help from the offense. Except for when Kyler lobbed that little interception. It bought the defense more time to rest.
Yeah, don't even bring that play up.
Kyler gave up.
Unforgivable.
Kyler Murray gave up.
And let me say this about a comment one of you guys made earlier, that that Kyler Murray is moody. You know what? Kyler Murray is moody because he's being allowed by his leadership to be moody. I don't care if you're the number 1 overall draft pick in the NFL. If you're exhibiting this type of defeated attitude and you're a bad, spoiled brat attitude, you need your ass kicked. Get back in the game. You're our leader. Or take the C off your chest, turn your damn pads in and go play baseball and get the hell out of here.
I mean,
put somebody in there that wants to play.
It's not the craziest idea. I remember at one point this season, and it was a little bit due to injuries to Tua Tagovailoa not playing very well. He took the C off his chest. He said he didn't deserve to be the captain. Maybe that's something Kyler should consider, because honestly, that's not how a captain acts. Not every quarterback has to be the captain.
Here, can I tell you what happened? Here's what happened. I don't know when it happened, but Kyler Murray got hit. And I predicted this years ago. Kyler Murray got hit hard enough where instead of just a few steps back, now he's taking 10 yards back. There's no pocket. He's exposing himself because he's afraid of getting hit. He wants to see everything around him because he doesn't want to feel that pain again. That's the best thing I can tell, because I can see a couple of steps back, but he is going 10 yards back every time, under center, not a shotgun, under center. And then he's running back. You might as well start in the shotgun.
Well, then he'd probably still go back even further. And that's a great point, actually, because I mean, you'll hear quarterbacks and actually offensive linemen complain about this all the time. When you drop back too far on a drop back, the angle that a defensive lineman has to take to reach you is flatter. It's an easier angle.
Spinning them around, basically.
Yeah.
There's no leverage there.
And you give a guy like an Aaron Donald or a Von Miller no leverage. I mean, that's the easiest night of defense either of those guys has played in possibly 3 seasons.
I would have put Colt McCoy in the first quarter. I'm not even kidding. When I saw how bad Kyler Murray was playing in the beginning of that game, I was like, well, you can't do worse.
I just think that, like, we know that in the playoffs everything speeds up. The bullets are flying a little bit faster. So when your head's not in the right place, like Kyler's wasn't, that doesn't help anything. And maybe that's the way that Cliff Kingsbury could have gotten through to Kyler. I don't know what it was, but the fact that he didn't try is where I focus on him a lot today, even though I don't like Kyler's body language. And I don't like the way that he communicates when the chips are down, or, well, doesn't communicate when the chips are down.
Yeah, it was a sad display, Randy. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you that the team that you love so much got reduced to that last night.
Well, welcome to Arizona sports history.
The chains got to get broke eventually. This can't go on forever.
It happened for the Cubs.
Let's look at successful sporting events here in Arizona. I've lived here since 1966. I was born in Tucson, raised in Phoenix. I am born and bred Arizona. So I have been here, done that, got the T-shirt, and I've thrown stuff at the TV. Okay. So the only success that Arizona sports has had, the Phoenix Suns in the 70s, in 1993, and then again last year, 3 trips since I've been a Suns fan to the finals. 3. That's all. 3. And then you have the Arizona Diamondbacks under the watchful eye and leadership of Jerry Colangelo, who has to bring in, let's see, 1, 2, 3 Hall of Famers to make the damn team go to the World Series. 1 World Series, 3 failed trips at the finals, 1 Super Bowl appearance on a team that lost to the Steelers. That's all I've seen in Arizona in my 60 years of being here.
It can't go on forever. I guarantee you, Randy, I think the Suns are going to make good. I do think the Suns are going to make good.
This would be the year the Suns could do it.
So let's not jinx it. Let's just enjoy it. And of course, now
that's why I say, Jeffco, 1 game at a time. I'm going to enjoy the ride. I enjoyed the hell out of the ride this year. The last half of it wasn't so great. And going into last night's game, even though I was fired up and wanted to see my team win, I kind of knew they weren't going to win. Kind of knew, back of my mind. There hasn't been a time when I've seen a team and going, this team is going to do it all, except for the Diamondbacks in 2001. That's it.
So here's an idea. Deshaun Watson is going to be available soon. What would you say to Deshaun Watson?
Well, I mean, after what he's done in Houston, see, let me say this. If we could get a guy like Russ Wilson here,
sure,
with a team that's
that'd
around
be amazing.
him,
that'd be amazing.
I think now
Super
you've
Bowl.
got a
Guaranteed.
legitimate leader. You've got a legitimate guy that can take this team and wear the C correctly and not pout on the sidelines. Now you got a guy that you can bring in here and say, okay, now we got something going on.
And you don't have to be a fiery guy, but the sitting by yourself when your team needs you, I can't co-sign that.
Deshaun Watson becomes available, you may as well take him, because here's the thing. In the NFL, as I have seen this last season on the farewell Ben Rapesberger tour, as long as you don't do time, everybody's going to love you in the end, well, at least in that town. So if we can have a rapist play for 17, 18 years, well, I don't know why we turn our back on Deshaun Watson. We've already sold our soul to the devil. So we may as well bring in Deshaun Watson. Let it happen. Bring him in. Why not?
Wait, the Cardinals have sold their soul to the devil?
No, we as in us Americans, the sports viewing,
the great
NFL
country.
loving public.
Okay. All right.
If we just were witness to 17 years of looking the other way for Ben Roethlisberger, boy, there's no reason for Deshaun Watson not to be able to come back as long as he doesn't get arrested.
Yep.
Just saying.
So he's got a couple of criminal cases against him if he doesn't get caught in those. And there may not be enough evidence there.
Arizona is not the ownership here. Mr. Bidwell got rid of players for much less than what Deshaun Watson has done. I mean, I've watched players that have fallen asleep at red lights in Scottsdale, got a DUI ticket.
But GMs get away with it.
We don't have guys on the team, but the GM of the damn team can stay here for committing a felony DUI, spend some time in jail, and he's still around. So I don't understand the double standard, but I don't think they're going to bring in Deshaun Watson here to Phoenix, Arizona.
At this point, you have no reason not to. If we've sold our soul for Ben Roethlisberger, why not Deshaun Watson, who is just trying to have a little fun at a rub and tug?
I would pick up the phone.
Well, I mean, you're a Washington football team fan. You don't even have to speak up. We know you. We know you take him. All right, listen.
I take Kyler too, as much as I'm so.
See, that's why I don't want to completely blame Kyler Murray because he has played well. He has shown he has the ability, but something's wrong upstairs. And you're absolutely right. It's all about the coaching. Somebody needed to guide this guy and keep him out of his own headspace. And he could have continued to produce, but I don't know what the deal is.
There's a reason why Bruce Arians left Arizona.
He saw this coming. Well, he saw Josh Rosen coming.
all I'm going to say is there's a reason why, the Super Bowl winning Bruce Arians left Arizona Cardinals.
All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll get back to the text line. Awful lot of people with an awful lot to say. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The Phoenix Suns are not going to play again until Thursday when they travel to Dallas for a matchup against the Mavericks. In fact, tonight there is just a couple games on the schedule in the NBA. In New York, the Knicks are playing host to the Timberwolves. Minnesota is sitting as a 3-point favorite, the over-under at 213.5. And then the final game of the night has the Pistons and the Warriors matched up against each other in San Francisco. Golden State is currently sitting as a 15-point favorite. The over-under set at 218.5. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
Secret to sticking with your goals? The right gear, which is why I went on Kohl's.com and got an Adidas hoodie for under $45, picked up some Nike sneakers, and got a new fleece from Tech Gear for just $12.99. Oh, you can also get an extra 30, 20, or 15% off with your Kohl's card and get free store pickup. If only exercising was this easy. Select styles, Adidas and Nike coupons do not apply. Ends January 23rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here here in Arizona. You can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-PRO-COPY. That's 602-776-2679.
Today, someone will be included on a work conference call thanks to video relay services. Today, someone will have a support service provider, giving them the environmental and visual information to access and connect with their communities. Today, someone among the more than 1 million deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind Arizonans will enjoy greater accessibility and effective communication thanks to the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing. To learn more, visit acdhh.org, sponsored by the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and the Hard of Hearing.
The field is called a gridiron. The ball is called a pigskin. The quarterback is called a field general.
Y'all know what time it is?
And the kicker? Well, they just call him a kicker.
Come on, dude!
Hey, this is football. The NFL plays here.
You go get it!
Catch all the primetime games, playoff, and Super Bowl 56 on your home for the NFL.
Let's go now.
1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Today, Blendner here on 1580, The Fanatic. And okay, so now we have the schedule. We know what's going to happen Saturday. Bengals at Titans at 2 p.m. That'll be on Money Radio because we got a GCU game. But then the second game, 49ers at Packers, that'll be at 6 p.m. on Saturday here on 1580 The Fanatic. Sunday, Rams at Buccaneers at 10:30. And actually, I don't think it's 10:30. I think it's supposed to be noon 30. I don't know. I just know that when the Rams and Buccaneers are on, they're on 1580 The Fanatic. When the Bills and the Chiefs are on, they're on 1580 The Fanatic. So anyway, I just wanted to take a moment before I get to the text line and all those so-called sports experts out there who hate that I am saying you got to fire Cliff Kingsbury. You got to get yourself a new quarterback. Now, I'm a little less adamant about the new quarterback thing than I am the new coach. All those people will say, that just shows you don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what? You guys told me the same thing when I said Carson Palmer was a bum. And you're like, oh, his stats. Oh, his this, his that. Yeah, but it's at the end of the season. It's the eye test. It's when the chips are down. It was when everything is on the line. Carson Palmer would always find a way to blow it for you. And he loved to throw interceptions to short receivers. And
well, I don't think he loved to. I mean, it's just when he choked. I don't think he loved. Oh, how can I throw an interception today?
It seemed like it. Like, well, there's one.
I would have to debate you on that one.
Okay, so I'm being
facetious.
Yeah. I'm being facetious about that. But hear what I'm saying. All these so-called sports experts would always give me a hard time and say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Guess what? Carson Palmer never won you a Super Bowl. Did he? Carson Palmer never took you very deep into the playoffs. Did he? And I'm telling you right now, I have this. We all can see it. But some reason, some of these so-called sports experts want to tell you, no, Cliff Kingsbury's a fine coach. Kyler Murray's going to be okay. Okay. And I'm trying not to swear because I got a little brain fog and it could happen. So be ready with the delay button there, Keon. But I'm like, hey, asshats, what happened last night then? Explain to me with all your great volumes of sports knowledge and wisdom, the hell happened last night. And then explain to me why Cliff Kingsbury should be given one more year as a head coach with a record he's shown you over 9 years.
And not only that, but it's and I got into it with Big Steve on the Twitters early this morning, and he's definitely one of those. You gotta stay the course with Kingsbury. They've gotten better every year, and I'm like, name a coaching candidate that can't do what he's done.
Yeah, name a coaching candidate who's not better than Wilkes. Name him.
Because there's a bunch of guys out there. You mean to tell me that the Cardinals can't do the research and go out there and do the interviews and find one guy that can coach this team to the playoffs, but can do it without imploding at the very end? I find that very difficult to believe.
Well, I mean, let's just try to keep in mind. Yes, Cliff Kingsbury, I believe, is on shaky ground. Yes, I do. And I've watched I've watched the body of his work since he's been here, and I bleed Cardinal red. But let's just look at a lot of the situations. J.J. Watt, for example, gone almost 14 weeks, 12 weeks, something like that.
He didn't cause you any losses.
It did change the dynamics of that defensive line.
No.
It sure did.
That's irrelevant. What's really relevant is when you lost DeAndre Hopkins. That was just more relevant than J.J. Watt.
He's been out since week 14, and he's impacted the way this offense is run. James Conner is playing hurt. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying, let's look at the full body of the picture here. There's been a lot of, Hudson, former All-Pro center, who was the anchor of that offensive line. He's been in and out probably half the season. So there's been some key injuries to this team that has affected its play. And I would say none more than the D-Hop being out has really taken away. The whole dynamics of the offense changed when Hopkins went out.
So that is going to be actually Steve Keim's pleading with Bidwell, who, by the way, let me just put this out there. There's 0% chance in my mind that Bidwell is going to fire Cliff Kingsbury because he takes always too long to fire a guy. We know that from the past. Except for Steve Wilkes.
Steve Wilkes, he didn't give him a second
and that
chance.
was, I'm willing to believe that was a Keim. They hired Wilkes and drafted Rosen and then went, oh God, this is not going to work. And then immediately course corrected. Right. So I don't even know that there was anything Wilkes could do to save himself there.
You are stuck with Cliff Kingsbury. I believe that he should be fired, but I would be very surprised if he does get fired. Now, let me say, you're also not going to get Deshaun Watson because there's only one place I can see Deshaun Watson going this next season that makes any sense. Perfect fit, Deshaun Watson to the Steelers, because the Steelers already had a rapist for 17 years. They can have a guy trying to grab a girl in a rub and tug. It's exactly the same guy. No problem. There you go. I've solved the case.
Well, the Steeler fans are probably happy about that.
And then
I'll take him on the Colts.
Mike Tomlin said it, they're going to do whatever it takes to get a quarterback. They're assuming and operating as though Ben Roethlisberger is in fact actually done.
And I mean to say what Eric Bieniemy did back in the past. Yeah, that's messed up. It should be NFL unforgivable. But since we've already seen 17 years what is forgivable by the NFL, it is absolutely wrong that he is not a head coach in the NFL under the current, moral guidelines, right?
Yeah, it's incredibly hypocritical to draw the line at Bieniemy and go, this guy can't be in the NFL. He can't coach at the highest level because this. And meanwhile, we are literally in the process of pretending as though Ben Roethlisberger didn't do any of the heinous things that he did that were widely reported. And that's before we even get to something like the DUI
Allegedly.
Stuff. Allegedly. But before you get to some of the DUI stuff, too, that was out there with Ben.
Allegedly. He did crash that bike in the back of his truck.
Yeah, that
did happen.
Yep. So the police report got filled out on that one. That's not alleged. That happened. But still, you can't, if you're going to draw the line there, then the Bieniemy has not crossed any significant NFL moral lines.
Now he's crossed my lines. Listen, hey, go on with your life, get yourself a nice job. He has a nice job, and leave the really good stuff, the people who deserve it. And my stances on that haven't changed, but I'm standing here looking at if you're going to allow that, you may as well allow this. Be consistent, which is not something the NFL is ever very good at. Hefty Lefty has a pretty good idea for you, Randy. He says, just have Cliffy coach the first half of the season. Then you get Brian Flores to coach the second half. He always does well during that second half.
Listen, I'll take Brian Flores for Cliff Kingsbury. Yes, every day, all day. I'll take him in here. I think he's a wonderful coach, and I think he could with a team that's got this kind of talent on it. Are you kidding me?
What Brian Flores could do with this defense would be phenomenal. But yeah, they average each other out. So maybe there's something to it.
Well, I think the way you're going to see Keim save face and Cliff keep a job is they're going to bring in an offensive coordinator. They're going to bring in an offensive coordinator because I guess if you do that, you don't need Cliff Kingsbury, do you?
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. They brought Cliff Kingsbury in here for one reason.
And he didn't do crap.
Unquote, air raid offense.
Still waiting 3 years later. Where is this air raid offense? First year, well, Rosen was not the guy. Second year, well, Kyler's the guy, but things. Shut up. And the third year, what were you talking about? I never said nothing about an air raid offense. We just never saw it.
Me and my brother joked that Cliff Kingsbury came to Arizona and brought the ground raid. At no point did we ever see the offense open up. For a stretch at the beginning of this season, we saw the offense open up. And as Randy pointed out many times, the 30 points a game, when they were able to hit that number, they were unbeatable. And then they got more conservative. They got less aggressive. The offensive play calling got less creative. And all of a sudden, they're not able to hit that number anymore. And the teams are in these ball games and going, okay, I think I could beat the Cardinals. And then they do. And all of a sudden, you're not able to now beat teams that you've beaten before and beaten badly.
Cliff Kingsbury. There's the COVID brain fog. It just showed up.
Listen, I for those that are not watching on the whatever it is we broadcast our video feed on. I'm still wearing. Let it be known, I'm still wearing my Cardinals hat. I have not burnt it. I have not torn it to pieces, and I'm not ranting and raving about how the Cardinals crapped the bed, which they indeed did last night. They crapped the bed.
Mm-hmm. No,
but I will still back my team.
They crapped the floor in front of the bed. They never even made it to the bed.
They crapped from where they were at in the house, down the hall, into the bathroom, into their jammies, and all the way into bed. That's how far they crapped last night.
They crapped by the front door. The Roomba streaked that bleep all over the house. That's what happened.
Okay.
Let's see here. Blissful Hayes says, thank you, Randy, for showing up to work today after your team lost. Oh my God. I got the COVID, Blissful Hayes. I'd have been there Monday otherwise. Mr. Pringle says, big shout out to Randy for showing up to work. Let me buy you a drink, sir. And let's see. He goes,
thank you.
Ryan Lindley's postseason passer rating, 44.3. Kyler Murray's postseason passer rating, 40.9.
Yeah. Well,
ouch. That's a lot of ouch right there. Let's see. Straight Striper says Kyler is talented, but is he a leader? A majority of the time, his body language and facial expressions are dejected. Where's his fire? Where's his encouragement? No, he is not a leader. Now, he can exist as a non-leader, but his play has to back that up. So it's just not. So that's when it becomes even more apparent.
And I do think that is something that another thing that the head coach ought to do. You ought to be able to identify who the leaders are in your locker room, empower those people, and elevate them, and not put any pressure on, a guy like Kyler. You're a quarterback. You have the ball in your hands a lot. Those guys feel like they have to be leaders. He's not one. He doesn't have to be. Maybe it shouldn't have been him going down the sideline because that's just not who he is as a person. But it's not a secret. You knew this already. So this is where I just don't understand how you can have a locker room with chemistry like this. All the parts of it, and the head coach is still not aware, not able to reach out to literally the guy that's got the ball for every single play and get him encouraged. I don't. He clearly can't do it himself. So the head coach has to do that, or find somebody to do that. Just didn't happen.
The Berg says, ship the bed, Randy. Ship the bed.
Yeah.
Did you say the other thing?
No. Crap.
Okay, good. Because COVID fog, I'm like, oh God, did he actually say it?
No, I said crap the bed. Yeah.
Let's see. Horn Ninja says, afternoon, gents. Welcome back, Radio Pal. Thanks to Kyler, I completed a 6-game wild card weekend parlay for a good chunk of cheddar. Go Niners, he says.
Good for you. Good for you.
Rough Rob says, damn Cardinals, we're all ready for Cancun. Well, at least we have the Suns. Who knows, though? Devin Booker versus a mascot, right? Boomer Sooner says, guys, ever since the first play last night when Kyler got rushed, he looked like a deer in headlights ever since. I think you guys are all right. I don't think he's built to be an NFL quarterback. Center fielder, yeah. NFL quarterback, not so much.
Okay. I'm not going to go that far. I do think that he's an NFL quarterback, but he's just not a leader.
His future is an injury and he's out. I'm serious. He may as well step out now, in my opinion. He may as well step out now, go play baseball, where you're not scared out of your mind. Of course, first time he gets hit by a pitch, he's probably going to stand 10 feet outside of the batter's box. Like, oh my God. So I don't know, man. Maybe sports isn't for him. Let's see. 602 Pats fan says, did you guarantee another Cardinals win, Jeffrey? I did everything but. And I didn't say this on air, but I did pick the Rams to win last night. I didn't want to jinx anything any direction. So I'm not in any kind of trouble today. 602 Pats fan says, hey, Arizona Rattlers kick ass, Randy.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, they're going to be broadcast on our station, but they're not Big Four. And it's an Arizona success story, just like the Phoenix Rising is an Arizona success story. But as far as the top tier sports, the four main sports, no, that's not in the same conversation. But still proud of them, still enjoy them. It's a lot of fun. Keon, one of the first things we did when he got here in Arizona, we sent him to one of those games, and he had a blast. So, Arizona Rattlers champions, Phoenix Rising champions. And but as far as top tier sports, there's where the frustration lies. Fed Fan says, I'm thinking the same thing as you guys. I was yelling at the TV, bench Murray, put in Colt McCoy. And then he does that stupid pick six, just like he did against, I think, Detroit. I wanted to go to LA and punch Murray in the head myself.
Yeah, what the hell is he thinking? He's been in the league a few years now.
Okay,
you don't throw the
easy.
damn football out like
Easy.
that. You just don't. You take the safety. Take the
easy.
safety.
Randy, they're teaching kids a different kind of math these days. Okay, you and I get that 2 + 5 was 7. No, the safety is only 2 points.
Yeah.
Well, the pick six ends up being 5 more points. 7. Well, with the kick, of course.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But with the other math, by the time he was done calculating, it was too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to go to your point earlier, Jeffrey, though, about Kyler panicking, that was just a pure panic. He knew he couldn't take the safety, so it was just, oh, crap, get rid of the ball. And he just threw it in a direction.
Go back and watch that replay. He didn't even seem to have any urgency in him. One of my things I was saying yesterday before the game was when clock management, there's no urgency on his part. That means there's no urgency on the other player's part. When Larry was there, he would get everybody moving. But, your clock is ticking down. He's like, I don't care. You just don't ever get the sense that Kyler Murray cares. And when that one, he's just like, well, I guess I'm going to get killed.
That I don't know. I think he was trying to hold on to the ball and let a route develop downfield. But still, you have to have that clock in your head. You can't just stand there and take the hit. And the moment he realized he was going to get hit, it was just, oh, crap, I got to throw it somewhere. And he just threw it anyway.
Here's a tough question. Blissful Hayes says, who sucks worse, Carson Wentz or little Kyler Murray?
Boy, that was a Carson Wentz throw that he made there. But Carson's obviously the worst.
Yeah, Carson Wentz sucks more. Carson Palmer versus Kyler Murray, though. Carson Palmer would give you more consistency, and he would blow it at key moments. Kyler Murray has been at the top of the top, and then the last part of the season, bottom of the bottom. I don't know. Who would you rather have right now, prime Carson Wentz or prime Kyler Murray? Well, see, prime would mean Kyler Murray to win the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we've
Kyler Murray. Yeah, everybody keeps projecting out what Kyler Murray is going to be. I haven't seen that yet. Sorry, I haven't seen that yet. I've seen flashes of brilliance. I've seen a guy that when he's composed and confident can throw any pass there is. Who can also, when he's thinking clearly and he's not under duress, can make the right plays. So I can't say that Kyler Murray. I don't know. It's a tough call right now. I'm just a disappointed Arizona sports fan. That's what I am right now.
I would go Kyler because I don't think we've seen his prime yet. Most guys start to get there closer to 30, and he's 24 going on 25. So I still think that there's room.
He'll be playing baseball by then.
I don't think so. I really don't.
I don't know.
But he's got one more year left in this contract if they choose to opt into it, and it's a rookie deal, so it'd still be pretty cheap relatively. That they're going to probably roll into from there.
Callaway Sparky says, exactly, Jeffrey. Math is different. 10 + 10 is 20. 11 + 11 is 22. Wait, what? All right, it's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's the NFL playoffs, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is celebrating. Counting down to Super Bowl 56. New customers can get 56-1 odds on any team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. Not a new customer? You can still get in on the action of the divisional round with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BET1580. Get 56-1 odds on any NFL team. Bet just $5 and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code BET1580 at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars that makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-PROCOPY. That's 602-776-2679.
Your favorite radio station.
And now you're up to date on the news. Stand by for weather and traffic right after this.
It wakes you up, starts your day, and keeps you informed as well as entertained.
You guys are absolutely the best.
How do you like to work here?
At the Fanatic, we're looking for commissioned sales reps to knock on doors, set up appointments, and extol the benefits of advertising with your favorite radio station. Send your resume to jobs at 1580thefanatic.com.
Time for some smart saving. Make their dreams their reality.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. Whatever your little one dreams of becoming, a doctor, a chef, a firefighter, they're going to need a plan and savings. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan, and you will be able to pay for their future education. Visit az529.gov and start saving to make their dream job come true.
Now that's smart saving. Sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
This is Brad Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Hey, Randy, I went and downloaded the FanDuel Sports app.
Yeah, did you use Randy 1580?
Sure did. And I also got my DraftKings Sports app, and I got my code in there, Bet1580. And I actually have already made some ill-advised bets.
No kidding.
Probably shouldn't have done this at the time of my COVID cloud in my brain, but I feel like I should have spent a little more time before and then I was doing like $5 bets. I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe I should have done $5 because Radio Ron's like, dude, you know, you can do like a 10-cent bet just to get your feet wet. I'm like, I figure I'll go big now, get my ass handed to me, and I'll be back with the 10-cent bets in no time.
Yeah.
So how about that FanDuel, huh?
How about that FanDuel? That's amazing. Am I doing a FanDuel?
You're kind of supposed to right now. Keon forgot to tell you, so I'm telling you in my own. Sure glad we can ad-lib our way through this.
Well, I was going to FanDuel.
You got.
How about that FanDuel, Randy?
How about that FanDuel, Jeffco? It means that you can get much more of a win during the NFL playoffs. The FanDuel Sportsbook hooking up new customers with 30-1 enhanced odds for divisional playoffs, which are happening this weekend. Look, I mean, you got to like Green Bay, don't you? You got to take Green Bay. They're at home. They've had a week off. They've recovered, and they've got Aaron Rodgers slinging the football around. Team looks like they're strong. So I think you should take the Pack to win. You could put a $5 bet on the Pack if they win, 30-1 enhanced odds. That'll turn it into $150. And if you already have the FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with $50 when you refer a friend. Plus, your friend that you refer, when they sign up using your code, They will also get $50. Don't miss your chance to win $150 out of a $5 bet when you use promo code Randy1580 when signing up. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Use promo code Randy1580. Pick your divisional playoff team before kickoff. Remember, you've got to be 21 or older and present in Arizona. New users only. $10 first deposit required. You must wager in designated offer markets. Max bonus $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. How about that? How about that FanDuel?
How about that FanDuel? Baker's Cocky Hen says FanDuel got me paid last night. OBJ first touchdown bet parlayed with Cardinals plus 30.5 points and over 23.5 points total. 20 turned into 185. Not bad, Baker's Cocky Hens. Not bad. He says, by the way, you got to just trade Cliff and a mouthful of kneecaps for Dan Campbell. That's what you got to do.
How many kneecaps does it take to go in a mouth?
I don't know.
I reckon I could get about 12.
Okay. All right.
I mean, they're detached or, you know what I'm saying? If they're already detached, they can't be that. I don't know.
I was just throwing 12. In on Baker's Cocky Hens texter.
Let's see. We got a lot of text to catch up on, so let me just rifle through a bunch of these real fast. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. Kinda. What a disappointing game yesterday for the Arizona Cardinals. And Jeffrey, I agree with you on so much today. I feel like we're brothers. If we were brothers, Big George is 7 feet tall. Okay. He's 7 feet tall. He's a mountain of a man. I would have to be your older brother because the birth of you would have killed my mom. I don't know how your mom was able to. His brother ain't that much smaller than he is. I don't know how your mom did it. So it cheers to her. But he says, I think the Cardinals should have benched Kyler Murray for Colt McCoy after he threw that shovel pass pick 6 in his own end zone. It was inexcusable. Kingsbury's got to go. Every single season of his coaching career finishes the season with a whimper after he starts strong. Fire Kingsbury. And while you're at it, fire drunk Steve Kine.
I mean,
why not?
That's a typical Big George response to anything, really.
Which is true, but I don't think he's that crazy. I mean, I guess if you say anything long enough, you're not crazy when you say it eventually. But he's kind of right about Kime that you kind of have to move on from him if you move on from Kingsbury because they're connected. If you can't hire a coach for 1 year like he did Wilkes, turn around and hire Kingsbury, and then say, well, you know what, time to move on. I've got a new coach in mind. It kind of ends up connecting them, the general manager and the coach that way. And
the Giants did it for a long time, didn't they?
They did. The Giants are a very incompetent and poorly run organization. So
they won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, and it's for them, it's just luck of the draw. They get the right general manager in there. He'll hire all the right people and draft all the right guys and sign all the right players. If they get Gettleman in there, who knows?
Just once, I'd love that one of my big 4 sports teams would just be dominant, just year after year, just until I die. And after I die, they can suck again. I don't care.
Mr. Wilbur says Kyler's stupid little 3-yard pick 6 saved the Cardinals probably $200 million. That's how much money he lost by being stupid for throwing that. So everybody's thinking, does that mean that Kyler's contract ain't going to be so max after all now?
I don't know. Well, they paid Dak how much?
Well, Dak is worth it. I'd rather have Dak at any point in his career than Kyler Murray today.
I don't know. There isn't going to be a max anyway because the next year's contract, should the Cardinals opt into it, is still the rookie deal. So it's going to be a little bigger.
I know, but they start to negotiate those things next year.
Right.
Mars 805 says, what's up, guys? What a weekend for football. Randy, neither one of our teams made the last first week, but they are still our team, right? I'll take an 805 for Lakers beating the Jazz and go Raiders, he says.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a very good year for the Lakers when they're like, well, we can't blame LeBron, and sold Vogel's on the perpetual hot seat. I don't think that's completely fair to Vogel, is it?
It is a little bit. Some of his rotations have been kind of ridiculous. He's been leaning very heavily on Russell Westbrook, even though
that's why they brought him in.
He can't shoot right now. I mean, they brought him in, but like if he can't shoot, you can't play him significant minutes. And Vogel's just doing it. And Go for it. I don't think you can blame LeBron. We know LeBron's old.
Historian thinks that the Arizona Cardinals are now the New York Jets of the NFC.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the New York Jets are the New York Jets of the NFC.
Yeah.
Big Kev says, heard Randy's call for Kingsbury firing. And all I'll say is, as a 26-year-old fan who's only seen 5 playoff appearances from this team and only a handful of bowl appearances, a couple of bowl wins from his college team, just be happy. First Cards postseason in several seasons. Be happy. When you're me and you've seen 10 losing seasons, and he pretty much repeats everything there. When you're a Duke fan and lived through multiple 0-11s, Ted Roof eras, you're just happy to see him finish. Well, I'm sorry, Big Kev, that your standards are so low. But damn it, my friend Randy deserves a championship. He deserves a championship. Hasn't seen one in over 20 years.
And Big Kev, I think the Duke thing's been working out for you for the last couple decades, right?
Yeah, you can't.
Well, I think he was talking
at this point.
I think he's talking Duke football.
Okay,
not Duke basketball.
Which it hasn't all been bad. It's my point. But yeah.
Swazman says, your coach here in town now reminds me of our former coach, Matt Nagy in the Midwest. Pretty much a beatdown last night in LA, huh? Yeah. It doesn't even begin.
It wasn't again, they crapped the bed. They weren't ready to play football.
It's like they say, don't show up to a gunfight with a knife. They showed up to the gunfight with nothing.
Squirt gun. Oh, I thought this was a squirt gun fight. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they showed up to a gunfight and they thought they were going to a dance party.
If they brought a squirt gun, there wasn't even water in the squirt gun. Beer Bob says, sounds like Watson is trying for a trade to the Giants and pushing for Flores to come down over there and be the new head coach. Is he trying to get out of Miami, or is Miami trying to get out of him?
Flores? They already let him go.
Yeah, they fired him.
Brain fog.
That's when you were
COVID.
Sick.
Yeah, it was when you were gone. They fired him. And
why would they fire him?
Great question. They're the Dolphins.
That happened while I was down with the COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, now I don't feel so bad because I was sitting in my head going, that happened a few months ago.
That was the surprise firing of all the coaches that got released. That was the surprise.
I'm still surprised. Prison Wallet says Murray is a spoiled little brat. He's not used to losing. He's what you call a paper tiger right there. And we only know no one talked to Kyler Murray on camera. It could have happened off camera. Well, where's off camera in that stadium? There's no off camera.
It's so fun. There's cameras everywhere. And if it happened during the commercial break, you don't think that they would show that to us? Because they usually do.
Yeah, see these. Let me give you some insight in the television production world. They have things called an Elvis. It is a digital recorder with instant playback, and these guys run these Elvis. They have 6 or 7 of them on an ESPN football broadcast. They could have showed it immediately after it happened.
And President Wallet says, you're wrong. He needs an OC. Well, we covered that earlier. He's supposed to be the OC. That was the whole point of hiring him. He says, Jeffrey, your expectation was to go from damn near worst in the league to a Super Bowl champion in 3 years. Do you even understand sports? I think you should turn in your resignation.
Well,
I'll consider it.
and nobody, and Jeffrey said this early. If the Cardinals went out there and gave them what for and fought their asses off and the game was close,
even like a 2-score loss would have been okay.
And they had fire, even if they were getting their asses kicked, they had fire going into the 3rd and 4th quarter. We're having a very different conversation today. Yeah. We're talking about what we're talking about because this team came out flat. They got punched in the nose. They had no answers for being punched in the nose, and they just laid down, all of them. And the head coach is the guy who is supposed to be in charge of, hey, let's get fired up. Let's go. Hold on. This game is not over yet. We're going to keep going till last whistle. They didn't see it. I'm sorry. You're 8-8 last year. You win 11 games and implode this year.
Yeah.
I'm not making excuses for it.
I appreciate that, but let me tell you exactly when Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury lost that game last night. Second touchdown. You can look at the whole team. You can look at Kingsbury looked bewildered. Kyler Murray was frustrated and pouting. The whole damn team was done at 14-0.
Fish Tank says, my question about all this, if the Cardinals played a good game last night, stayed in it, lost maybe on a walk-off field goal or something, are we still having this conversation? No, we're not. We're saying better luck next year, and there's some things that they need to change. There's some things they need to adjust to do better. Last night, And the last 5 or 6 games have been a complete WTF. I mean, nobody knows why this is happening. So, yeah, it was abysmal is a great word for that, Fish Tank. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and get to your texts, and let's move on to something more happy, please, soon. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Coming up on Wednesday at 1 p.m., even though the Cardinal season is done, this offseason is as important as ever. I'll keep you updated on the press conferences and comments that happen. And they have some important free agents to decide on. I'll keep you updated on the NFL teams still alive with the divisional rounds coming up this weekend and updates on the NHL and the NBA. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Wednesday, 1 p.m. on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the girl from that alien movie you watch on demand. Our worlds have been brought together thanks to DirecTV Stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at directtv.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Contractors, are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go. Serving all types of contractors of any size, licensed in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit CBIalliance.com.
We're on a mission to connect every Arizona service member, veteran, and their families to the support and resources they deserve to make sure that there are no barriers to the benefits and services earned through service to our country. Find out how we can assist you in Arizona. Visit connectveterans.org or call 866-4AZ-VETS right now to learn more. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
Hi, this is Bruce Jacobs from my friends and former employers at ProCopy. For over 20 years, ProCopy has provided Arizona companies with the best office equipment available from companies like Ricoh. More importantly, they provide outstanding service after the sale with a 96% retention ratio and award-winning technicians. 3 years ago, they joined the Flex Technologies Group, an Arizona-based nationwide group of companies that share ProCopy's commitment to excellence. So if you have branches anywhere in the United States or just here in Arizona, you can get great personalized service even during the current climate. We use them here at the Fanatic and Money Radio KFNN, and they never disappoint because they remain a local company. They give back to our community by supporting ASU and the Thunderbirds through the Phoenix Open. The ProCopy Foundations has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. That makes doing business with ProCopy good for your business. Just give them a call at 602-ProCopy. That's 602-776-2679.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and, of course, you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Yep, we've talked quite a bit about the Arizona Cardinals. Not so much the game, just more about what to do about the situation. It ain't good. You know, and boy, I'll tell you what, I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank the Kool-Aid in the first 12 games of the season. Even when they lost, I was like, yeah, it happens. No biggie. And then they never came back. They never came back, Randy. And
you don't have to remind me. I watched every game.
You know, we're not going to sit here and belabor the point for the entire 3 hours of the show. I still have a crap ton of text to get through on the text line before we can move on to something else. But it was, I mean, what would be the worst? I guess the one word you could use to describe that. I've seen thrashing. I've heard blowout. I've heard destroyed. I mean, what word would you use to describe what happened last night with the Rams and the Arizona Cardinals?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Ass kicking.
Well, all right. Okay, phrase, because that's two words. I mean, I guess you could put them together, but I don't know. How about what would you say, Keon?
I would say self-destruction.
It's also two words, but all right. Yeah.
Well, if it's
a phrase, we're going to say
hyphenated.
phrase then.
Okay.
Now it's phrase now. I'm going to say it's a joke. It's a joke. It was just a joke. It was there was nothing there. It was non-existent. There is no, I just don't get it. I just didn't get it. So Berg says, yeah, tough weekend for the Lakers, Cowboys, and Yankee fans. Guess if we're going to do loser talk, right? King of Kitten says, well, Randy, I'm still wearing my Cardinals hat too. How about a beer for me? There you go.
Absolutely.
Good man.
Let's do it.
Don't give up on your team. Maybe just give up on some of the people running it. That's what I say. Let's see. Cardinals got a new sponsor, says Hefty Lefty. You've heard of In-N-Out. Well, now the Cardinals' new sponsor is 3-N-Out. Oh, and there's a logo too. There's a logo. Oh, geez. Papa Mike says, Randy, I am right there with you. Today I renewed my Cardinals season tickets. I paid in full. Good man, Papa Mike.
Wow. Good for you, Papa Mike.
Nobody said abandon your team. We're talking about what this team needs to do better so you don't feel like you get abandoned at the end of a season. Wing Guru says Kingsbury definitely gets the lion's share of the blame, but then I noticed they were getting behind trying to speed up the offense. Kyler was still not operating with any sense of urgency, and that's disappointing. Yeah, that's also, you could say part of that is Kyler Murray, but the other part of that is also coaching, because if he's not urgent when you're trying to get him urgent, well, he's not listening to you, and that's a coaching issue. Tron Slater says, what's up? I said Cardinals didn't have it in them to beat 3 good teams in a row, and people asked if I was crazy. I want the Cardinals to win, but I was and still against the Cardinals drafting Kyler Murray first overall. It's frustrating because if I hadn't seen all those games where Kyler Murray was an effective quarterback at kicking ass, doing what needed to be done, I just be sitting here the entire time saying, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. But I've seen Kyler Murray be a really good quarterback. And when you have these great differences, and I mean, I don't know, unless Kyler Murray has just become a real a-hole or something, you got to look at coaching.
Yeah, I know. He hasn't earned the right to pout on the sideline like a little child. He's not done anything in this league. He's still on a rookie contract. The guy is still learning a game that's taken many guys, AKA Tom Brady, over 20 seasons to be able to be proficient as a championship quarterback and to read and to know what defenses are doing. Just because you were 1 overall in the draft pick does not make you anything special.
And I just think that that's where I go look for the coach, because you were drafted, Cliff Kingsbury, to be the coach of this quarterback specifically. And so you have a young guy in his early 20s who is exhibiting, struggles with leadership, struggles with the body language. Why isn't the head coach in his ear trying to break those habits, break those behaviors? That I do not understand.
There was though speculation that Larry didn't get along with Kyler Murray, and that's why he's like, I'm out. And you see the interactions between Kyler Murray and the sideline, and it's got to be Cliff in his ear because he's the OC, and where he's just like making little frustrated faces. So yeah, there's a problem here, guys. Don't kid yourself. There is a problem. Blissful Hayes says, I've noticed the Cardinals offense lack of urgency in late game situations the last 6 games. They don't seem to care if they win or if they lose.
You're right.
It really seems like a head coach problem.
I mean, I've watched an old NFL films where they were just following Bill Belichick around for his, for one of his practices. And at the end of the practice, he gets all of the guys together and their pads aren't on. He's basically just going down scenarios. 3rd and 25, and we're down 14. What are we doing? What are we doing if we expect an onside kick here? What are we doing? How fast are we moving when we're down this much? They go through all of that. Great coaches do. And I'm not asking Cliff Kingsbury to be a great coach. I'm asking him to be a decent coach. Your team ought to know when you're down X amount of points, this is the tempo that you move at now. And they don't seem to know that.
Cowboy Sparky says, boy, I don't know. Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, both of them let their team down. I think that Dak Prescott is no, he's a better quarterback than Kyler Murray. And I think in the right situation, Dak Prescott could have done better than he's done so far.
And Dak made a mistake. But the whole game, do you ever watch a Cowboys game and feel like the Cowboys are completely out of the game? Because I never feel that with Dak on the sideline. I just don't. It always seems like he's going to come out and try to make something happen. I wish I got more of that from Kyler Murray.
Fed fan says, Jeffrey, just tell Keon to text Randy about FanDuel. That's what he did last week.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to text Keon to tell Randy to text it. No, I'm just going to do it on air. I don't even care. Senior Wake and Bake says, after the game, Cardinals lined up with arms to their side, open-handed as Murray ran up and down, smacking the top of his head. Can you say choked? Oh, that's right. Senior Wake and Bake just coming in here being rude. Booger Wolf says, what's up, you three stooges? Cardinals suck. All three of your guys' teams can eat it. Go Niners, he says.
No, there's more Niners out of focus. He shouldn't be worrying about us.
Why are you worrying
trying to smack talk us? He's got another team to be worried about, and that's in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Don't worry about Washington.
Yeah.
They can't eat it. They already ate it multiple times. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, Washington is full, thank you. Fighting Wampa says, I keep hearing fire Cliff Kingsbury. Has anyone ever thought maybe the first 8 games of the season, he helped the Cardinals overachieve, and the last part of the season was just us seeing who the Cardinals really are? That man deserves an extension and a raise. Fighting Wampa, you're just talking crap now.
Clearly. And again, I'm going to go back to a point that Jeffrey made earlier. We have 9 years of Cliff Kingsbury melting down in the second half of seasons, going all the way back to Texas Tech. Might I remind you, he had Patrick Mahomes when he was there. So, yeah, when we're talking about Cliff Kingsbury, unless you're going to argue that Cliff Kingsbury helped every team he ever coached overachieve in the first half and then showed who they really were in the second half, you are arguing something that doesn't even make sense.
Straight Striper says the positive thing is due to his height. Kyler's knees are still okay after blowing it. Sorry, Randy, I needed one final whistle to wrap up the season. Oh my God. There you go, Straight Striper.
There it is.
Big Kev says, I will say this to Randy, 2020 was the most demoralizing year for me. However, seeing my driver, Chase Elliott, win the Cup Series championship was the only bright spot. I will forever hold on to that memory, seeing him hoist up the title in Phoenix.
I don't understand.
Well, because he was talking about his teams not being very good.
Partially,
but then he had Chase Elliott in 2020.
Okay.
Augie says, sorry, guys, hate to tell you this, but I've been telling you since he got drafted, Kyler Murray, the leprchaun, is not a championship quarterback.
You know, and here we go. See, this is what I mean. Where are all these haters when everything is going well and the team is 8, 9, 10, and 0? They're nowhere to be found. And suddenly they crapped the bed last night in a playoff game. And here they come like cockroaches out from underneath the furniture, out from behind the refrigerator, up from the sewer to spew their piss and venom all over the joint. Now, give me a break. If you're going to be a hater 24/7.
All right, let's take a look at what Choro says. He says, nobody knows why. Hello, D-Hop is out. Okay, so Randy, do you feel like the only thing that was missing from the Cardinals continuing to win games was DeAndre Hopkins?
Hell no.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It didn't help.
The team wasn't prepared. The team wasn't ready to play football. The defense was lackluster because they weren't prepared. Vance Joseph did a horrible job of preparing the defense. And the injuries, key injuries this year, and quite honestly, spot on with Kyler Murray, just did not play up to what he should have. He was not a good leader for this team. And as Kyler Murray goes, this team goes.
Fifth letter says, I'll say it again, the teams that stay consistent down the stretch are the ones that play long into January. I know the type of offense the Raiders have. 1 for 5 in the red zone's just not going to do it. I feel your pain, Randy. Your Birds did not even lace up yesterday. By the way, good to have you back, Jeffrey. Thanks, Fifth letter. Appreciate that. But yeah, that's what it seemed like. They showed up defeated. And I don't know why. Why would they show up that way? They had beaten the Rams early in the season, right? Was that my imagination?
In that building.
Yeah, in that building. Yeah.
Right. And then the Rams won the next one. So it wasn't like you should have walked in there going, oh, no, it's impossible. You know,
It just, yeah, I can't explain it. I just don't understand. Other than they're just aloof and they just don't have any passion and they're just out there making a paycheck. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Wait a second, the Jets are in the AFC?
The Jets are in the AFC.
Why do you think they're in the NFC? Oh, because they're so horrible. I thought they were part of the NFC East.
The New York Giants are the Jets of the NFC.
Thank you, historian. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Again, COVID. Watermelon says, Jeffrey, Blender Crew, question. When it comes to Kyler Murray, do you keep investing in him as a franchise quarterback, or do you cut your losses since he can't seem to perform under pressure and tends to pout when he's not winning?
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
I would opt into that last year and then make that the determination year. And after that, then you may end up having to pay him just because franchise quarterbacks do not grow on trees. And good luck finding another one. But
the only thing I would do is do exactly what you're saying, Keon, but with a different coach. You use that year as an evaluation year with a different coach. And if Kyler Murray pulls his head out of his keister under a better guidance, well, then, yeah, maybe you keep him if he shows, okay, we're okay now. But I don't know. I think they might both be broken, Randy. I think both Cliff Kingsbury, he came in there broken, 9 straight years of broken, and they may have broken Kyler Murray.
Well, I don't know that they've broken him. He looked pretty damn good earlier this year, and I don't know what the problem is. It might be because he took a big hit, but I'd have to think that in Oklahoma he took a big hit. So I don't know. I don't know. It just, there was no urgency. There was no passion. Nobody was running around like their hair was on fire, wanting to hit somebody. There was just it wasn't enough football weather. It was just like, yeah, we're going to work today and here we go. And, geez, I hate my job. That kind of attitude is what it seemed like to me. And when they went down 14 points, the game was over. You might as well have called the game at that point. There's no chance the Cardinals were going to make a comeback.
Mr. Pringle says, name one run-first quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. Steve Young, not a run-first. He was an assassin pocket passer who was uber dangerous as a scramble. The last night, one word, embarrassing. That is probably the best word.
Well, the thing is, Kyler doesn't have to be a run-first quarterback. Not really. He didn't have to be at Oklahoma.
It's easier than trying to see over people.
But get him out of the pocket. Get him to be able to, get in space where he can keep his eyes downfield and be able to move around and extend plays with his legs. But sometimes the play call really just seems like, hey, Kyler, go out there and do something, buddy. Just make something happen. And I don't know what you want him to do when that happens.
Intern says, wore my Cardinals mask at school today. Yesterday was an abomination, but this season showed promise. Looking forward to next season. Fish Tank says, feel like there's just a little bit of an overreaction Monday or Tuesday, I suppose, going on in all of this. Don't forget, in the first 7 or 8 games, we were talking about Kyler as an MVP candidate. Yeah, and that's why I focus more on Cliff than I do Kyler, but Kyler's got his own issues to bear as well. So nobody needs to walk away from this thing unscathed except for JJ Watt, who came back quicker from an injury because he just wanted nothing more than to help his team. And I'll
also give it to Budda Baker, who was laying it out there, and obviously he got hurt, but he's
okay now.
He is okay, but he was playing his ass off even before that. I'll give Budda Baker a pass too.
It was much better to see this. Oh, look at that! It's he's sitting in my room.
Nice.
He was actually on an airplane when this picture was taken, but this was him on his way back, flying back to Phoenix, I guess this morning. So he's all good and smiling. Yeah. And I don't know if they ever said he was official with a concussion or what, but he could have just got a stinger on his neck. But it was scary. That was a scary ass moment, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely was. And there were a lot of thoughts and prayers went out for him. So.
And anybody saying that Akers was dirty on that, he wasn't. It was just one of those things that happened.
And he said he didn't see that Budda Baker got hurt.
Yeah.
So
he got up, he made a little motion at him, but he was just, it's just game, man. It's just the game. It wasn't like he was like, haha, you're hurt, stay down. He was just, I don't know what the complete meaning of the motion was, but it wasn't malicious.
And he said he didn't intend it to be, and I believe him.
Then here's the thing that I thought was interesting. DJ Humphries gets a man card accreditation for trying to fight Aaron Donald. He said something that pissed Aaron Donald off enough to where, and this is Aaron Donald's go-to move. He tried to choke him. You saw him trying to choke DJ Humphries, which, by the way, good luck getting any hand around that neck. But I don't know what he said. I'd love to know what he said. Does anybody know what?
I wish I knew. I wish
We
I
know
knew.
Rams were kicking the ass out of the Cardinals, but yet DJ Humphries said something so bad, Aaron Donald wanted to kill him.
Yeah, well.
So man card accreditation for that guy.
I don't know. It really reminded me of this basketball play from the 90s when Reggie Miller said something to Michael Jordan, and Jordan looked like he wanted to rip his face off. It was a very similar.
Reggie Miller, you can understand that.
Well, yeah. But
good
still,
day, bad day. Reggie Miller said some snarky stuff. We've all wanted to murder him.
It's of course. It was just one of those moments where you want to know so bad. What did he say to make that one happen?
Lost Toby says, my condolences for you non-playoff teams. Go Niners. All right. This is really, I can't wait until next Monday.
I reject your condolences. I want a quarterback.
Beer Bob says, I'd say Dak Prescott's more of a gunslinger. Kyler's more like RG3 version 1.5. But I'd say 0.5.
I don't know about that. There's a whistle for you, Jeffrey, on that one.
It wasn't about his height.
I think Dak Prescott, given the opportunity, look, he's on a talented team, but I mean, is he on a team or is he on a pool of individuals that are playing the game? You see what I'm saying? I don't know that he's on a team where it's all teamwork and everybody's one for all and all for one. Otherwise, I think the talent on that Dallas Cowboys team should have put it on the 49ers, and they didn't. And the same with the Cardinals. Is it a team or is it a pool of individual talented players? That would be my question, because it doesn't seem like this. All of these guys are pulling in the same direction.
Dodger Danny says, Randy, my condolences on your beloved Cardinals with Jeffrey's Colts and now the Cardinals out. If you both can root for my team, the Titans, it'd be nice. Nope. I am not going to root for a team in my division. That is simply never going to happen, Dodger Danny. Although it does bring the question as we go, who are we going to be pulling for? Chiefs, Bills, Buccaneers? It ain't going to be the Rams. Ain't going to be the 49ers.
Not the Chiefs.
Packers, Titans, Bengals.
I kind of want to see the Bengals win and go on to the championship game.
I think the Buccaneers and the Packers will meet in the
NFC title game.
Title game
in the NFC, and then this game between the Bengals and the Titans is going to be a good one. I think and I'm not saying this because you 49er fans are jackasses. I mean, you are, but Packers are going to destroy the 49ers, and I think the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs, and the Buccaneers will destroy the Rams. But I don't know what's really going to happen between the Bengals and the Titans right now. They say Derrick Henry might be back, but that's not really enough to push it over for me.
Right.
Because if he is back, how back is he? Can you count on that?
Well, he's had 2 weeks now of practice. So,
okay.
So that helps.
Same,
and it's promising. But are you going to get back a Derrick Henry that's pretty good? Or are you going to get back the bulldozer? Because that guy makes your team very hard to beat. Average running back Derrick Henry, they're still in the same boat that they are now, where I don't know exactly what they are.
I need a scouting report on that. I need to know, how's he been looking? Is he everybody like, oh my God, he's crazy good in practice, practice ain't a game. So I don't know. That is the one I can't quite put my finger on yet. Well, we've got some days to figure it out. All right, let's take a break. We will come back. Only a couple more texts left about Monday Night Football, and we can move on to the next thing. Of course, there is no weekly winner for the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em. Once we're into the playoffs, we're not giving away those jerseys anymore. But I will give you an update on who is still in the running for the $1,580 prize and the $500 prize from Harmon Solar. Come on back, kids. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2022 Waste Management Phoenix Open, presented by Taylor Morrison, February 7th through the 13th at TPC Scottsdale. Get full tournament info at WMPhoenixOpen.com.
You feel that? It's finally happening. It's starting to get cooler. Is it time to start wearing sweaters? No. It's It's time to call Harmon Solar. See, if you install solar now, you get to enjoy huge savings next summer, up to 85% off your monthly bill. That means with zero down and no payments for 12 months, you can put that AC at whatever temperature you like year-round. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Video conferencing has become the new normal, allowing businesses and consumers to connect from anywhere in the world. But current options are not always designed with protection in mind. Until now. Secure your video conference meetings with Safe Chat from Strikeforce Technologies, the industry's most secure video conferencing system to hit the market. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has been a leader in proactive cybersecurity solutions for consumers, small to mid-sized businesses, and enterprise companies. Organizations are under attack every minute of every day, easily breached because most still rely on passive cybersecurity solutions. The best way to stop Zoom bombing is to prevent it in the first place with the industry's most secure video conferencing platform, Safe Chat from Strikeforce Technologies. Go to safevchat.com right now and use promo code radio to get an additional 15% off. This offer is only good until the end of January. Go to safevchat.com now.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Arizona Army National Guard, aired by the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
College basketball is on the Fanatic. Are you ready for the madness? GCU is charging through the WAC on a collision course for the big dance. Catch their games live on the home of GCU basketball. We catch up with the best the NCAA has to offer. When it comes to college basketball, we are your home for all the action. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
David Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. And tonight, got some high school basketball for you at 7 p.m. Sunrise Mountain is at Centennial. It's a girls' basketball game. Tomorrow, the boys of Ironwood are playing the boys of Apollo at 7 p.m. as well here on 1580, The Fanatic. All right, so I've downloaded the apps. Okay, I have a question about those apps, and I know I'm going to start to sound like everybody's granddad or something, but can I do this on a computer? Do I have to use an app, or is this something I can log in on my computer and do? I feel like I'd be better at it on a computer.
You can do it on your computer, yeah.
I think I'm going to do that.
They push the apps because most people will do it that way, but yeah, if you go to the DraftKings website and you use the same login as the app, you're good.
Oh, okay. Well, then, it's good to have both places because with live in-game betting, if I'm sitting somewhere, I can go, ooh, click, easy as that right off the app. But if I want to sit there and kind of look at numbers and use the Josh Applebaum book, the Everything Guide to Sports Betting, and kind of strategize and look at things and, take more time with it. Because my first bets that I did on DraftKings, I'm not kidding when I say they may have been ill-advised. And I don't know what's going to happen. A little bit of the COVID fog, a little bit of the excitement of the moment. But yeah, I went ahead and did it just like you guys should. And I went in there, got 56-1 odds on my first bet. And if I that $5 could get me 280 in free bets if my team wins. So very excited about that. You guys should give it a shot. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code BET1580. And like I said, you get 56-1 odds on any NFL team. So, yeah. And then, like Keon said, you can check this stuff out on the internet too. Well, I mean, computer internet. What do they call that these days? I mean, is it all just the internet?
Computer.
Yeah. Phone internet, computer internet? I mean, what's the terminology there, Keon?
I don't know. I usually distinguish between the two by going, I got my browser on my computer and then I got my phone.
Well, if you use a browser, you can go to DraftKings.com/sportsbook, get all the information about this I mean, all kinds of stuff you can do. And I've learned a lot on there. You can combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. More legs you add, the more money you can win. I think those are called parlays. DraftKings is so far, in my experience, has been safe, secure. It's a reliable app. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash anytime you want. It was very easy for me to put some money in there and start to doing, my education from Josh Applebaum leading up to this moment, I really do believe has helped. It's like now I'm seeing all these terms that he said, and they're making even more sense. I get the money line now. I get how these things work, and it's very easy to do on DraftKings Sportsbook. So go check it out and get that promo. Bet1580 is the promo code to get that deal. Remember, 21 years or older, Arizona only. And if you got a gambling problem, go to 1-800-NEXT-STEP. And remember, this is for new customers only. But if you're not a new customer, you can still get in on the action of this next round with the same game parlays too. So you can still have fun. 888-368-1580. Hey, I believe, Randy, it is now time for something we like to call Keon Rose's 4 downs.
There it is. Starting to feel it a little bit. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off a little bit quick.
Oh boy.
Because we're going to have to talk about it. We already talked about it for an hour, but I've got one question here on 4 downs dedicated to this. First down. What part of the Cardinals game bothered you the most when you were watching it last night?
Kyler giving up. It was all over his face, and it was pretty damn near immediate. That was the thing. Seeing his pouty little biatch face, you're like, you were this close. My team didn't even make it to the damn playoffs. You're this close.
Biatch face.
And you're going to have that pouty biatch face, and you're going to give up emotionally and on the field too. That was it. Kyler giving up.
What's your take, Randy? What was the thing that bothered you the most watching that game?
The lack of offense, just the incredible lack of offense. There was no creativity, there was no passion, just a lack of offense.
You know why you didn't have any offense? Because Kyler Murray had a pouty little biatch face.
Pouty little biatch face.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we can go on with the Kyler Murray thing. He's worthy of all the criticism he's getting. Obviously, we've criticized Cliff Kingsbury to the point of talking him out of town. But I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball here. We didn't talk a ton about them, but the fact of the matter is Matthew Stafford looked incredibly comfortable out there. I mean, the guy only threw 17 passes, but he's able to throw a couple of touchdowns. The running game looked phenomenal for the Rams. Cam Akers coming back off of an Achilles tear, and he's looking explosive and spry. And the defense that didn't pick either thing to stop. We're not stopping them in the passing game. Odell Beckham Jr. is throwing passes to Cooper Kupp. Where's the defense? Where is that somebody drawing the line in the sand that we're not going to give up any more yards here? I just didn't see that fire on that side of the ball either.
Yeah, to be fair, that defense did show up after the first few possessions, and they did a bit better, but no, by that time the damage was done, and there was no stopping the Rams.
Yeah, absolutely. It felt like it kept on going and going and going. And they got more demoralized too.
Well, because if the Cardinals keep going 3 and out, that defense is going to be out there for you to see more and more, and it'll keep going and going and going.
And at some point, it's got to stop. And of course, that goes back to Kingsbury to me. But let's move on to second down because we've got a number of those teams from that wild card round. Which one of those teams, because I'm going to put the Titans and the Packers in their own corner, which one of the wild card teams do you believe in the most? Because we got a lot of teams that have ups and downs. There's no perfect team in this playoffs. Who do you trust to actually make it to the Super Bowl?
Of only the wild card teams.
Of only the wild cards.
All right, Randy, you go ahead and go first.
Of only the wild card teams. I would have to say the San Francisco 49ers.
What? Really?
You believe
to go to the Super Bowl?
They've been super hot lately. They've been winning games. They've been effective. Jimmy G has been an effective quarterback, not a superstar quarterback. He's not doing anything stupid. He's managing the game. Their defense has been explosive. They've got a running game. You talk about Deebo Samuel. I mean, if they lose Deebo Samuel, it's going to hurt them. But listen, San Francisco 49ers right now. I think they're getting hot at the right time.
I know it's hard to imagine, but the Buccaneers also a wild card team, weren't they?
They are, yeah.
And that's my choice. I mean, that's an easy one for me. The Buccaneers. I mean, listen, I love Bruce Arians slapping the bleep out of his players. I think it's the best thing that can happen. I think then more of that needs to go on. The Buccaneers, even though they lost Antonio Brown, even though they lost the other guy, I think they're going to do just fine. They're the team I believe in most, and outside of say the Packers, but they're not wild card.
I mean, you want to talk about the Buccaneers. And I know that it's an Eagles team that struggles to throw the football, but they absolutely, without Leonard Fournette, without Chris Godwin, without Antonio Brown, just wax the Eagles and continued on their merry way. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I know that that's a riskier pick because of just how hot and cold that they can be. It's a roller coaster with them seemingly constantly, but when they have it going, they're a tough team to stop. I mean, when there's Kelsey and Hill and they're out in space and Mahomes is doing his thing, I lean with the Chiefs just based on the highs that I've seen them have this season and what I know that they're capable of doing. So let's go to third down now. A little off-season talk. We're going to get to some of the
hot seat.
Not yet, though. The hot seat might be connected to this third down question. But first, which coaching candidate would you most like to see get hired?
Dan Quinn. I thought that he got a bad rap the first time around, and he's done a stellar job for the Cowgirls. So I'd say he's the first one. He's the first one that comes to my mind. I mean, I know that we're waiting to see if Todd Bowles can do it. We're waiting to see if a bunch of these other guys. I mean, I got Eberflus on the Colts looking to be a hot prospect. But as far as the one I think that really is proven himself and ready to come back, it's got to be Dan Quinn. I know he took a lot of heat for what happened in that Super Bowl, but he wasn't alone on that. And I think he can do a good job. Randy?
Brian Flores.
Oh,
and I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'd love for him to go to a team and a team that's already got some talent in place. Maybe the Raiders, Brian Flores to the Raiders and see if he can build that team up from where it's at right now. Look at the heart that team showed you down the stretch and even into the playoff game. They looked miserable against the Bengals, but come on. I mean, the Bengals had an amazing game. Brian Flores, I'm looking forward to see what he can do.
That's a really good pick. I'm going to go Byron Leftwich in Tampa Bay. Of all the guys that we've
just like him because he sounds like a character from Harry Potter.
No, like Byron Leftwich.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it is.
Was a Jaguars quarterback when I was a kid. I remember watching him on TV. I like Byron Leftwich because I just
hire him by owl.
put the sorting hat on his head. No, I really like the what his offenses do, and I understand having Tom Brady makes your offense look really, really nice. But I just think that if you gave him a chance with a young quarterback and some pieces, there might be something there to what he's offering as an offensive coordinator. Which brings us to fourth down and on the hot seat. So Randy kind of stole my thunder a little bit. Your coaching candidate. Where would you like to see them go the most?
Well, I already said Brian Flores. I'd like to see him go to, Oakland Raiders. I think that team has got they have bonded together through a very difficult season. I think you add that with great coaching, and you get some passion out of that team.
Raiders
it could be dangerous. So,
but how is his knife play?
Brian Flores he's unafraid of anything.
That means that the Dolphins are looking for a good coach, and I think they're going to get some more pieces to that puzzle being brought in. Todd Bowles to the Dolphins. How's that? I mean, you're asking me about what I said about Dan Quinn,
right? Wow. So Todd Bowles to the Dolphins is a good pick, but where would you like to see Dan Quinn go?
Arizona Cardinals.
Really? Okay.
Todd Bowles or the Cardinals?
Arizona Cardinals.
Dan Quinn to the Cardinals. Interesting. I've never been a big Dan Quinn guy, so that's
anybody else to the Arizona Cardinals.
Anybody else. I'm gonna take Byron Leftwich and I'm gonna give him to the Bears. I like the young Justin Fields. I think there's something to build there with him. They got to build up that offensive line, but they can already run the ball. They've already got a solid tight end in Cole Kmet. They've got Allen Robinson, a top tier wide receiver. I like the pieces that are there. I think they just need somebody who is actually good at coaching offensive football to go in there and give that team some kind of a game plan that fits what their skill set is and what they actually do well. And I believe the Byron Leftwich could probably do that in Chicago.
All right.
So there it is. 4 downs.
I didn't win this week. I don't think I won this week. I think.
Well, nobody wins any week because
I've won almost every week up until now.
Okay.
No.
Blissful Hayes says the blender has turned into a 3-hour betting commercial. Listen, A, kiss my ass. B, we've told you all along, at the first chance we get, every single one of us will sell out. Okay. So don't act surprised when we do. Jesus.
We warned your ass.
Just trying to make some money over here, man. And don't forget DraftKings, bet 1580. Don't forget FanDuel, Randy 1580.
Between you and the damn money, give me the money.
We're not journalists, so suck it. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and I'm going to tell you how things are going in the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em contest. And we have other NFL things to talk about that aren't quite as depressing as the Arizona Cardinals. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
You ever hear something on the radio and figure I got to give it a shot? Well, I did. This is Stephen McCollum, host of the Main Event here on The Fanatic. I heard all the ads for Valley Medical Weight Loss and thought, what have I got to lose? I'm a client with Valley Medical Weight Loss, so I know firsthand that it really works. Valley Medical is a true pioneer in the weight loss industry, supervised by board-certified physicians, helping you gain the edge in your weight loss battle, boosting your energy, and getting you real results. 3 Valley locations, so there's one near you. Visit valleymedicalweightloss.com for info, and when you go, mention The Fanatic or Money Radio and get your first week free.
It's the NFL playoffs, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is celebrating. Counting down to Super Bowl 56. New customers can get 56-1 odds on any team. Bet just $5 and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. Not a new customer? You can still get in on the action of the divisional round with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BET1580. Get 56-1 odds on any NFL team. Bet just $5 and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code BET1580 at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Now, we've seen interest rates go as low as we've seen them in years recently. We've also seen them bouncing around. A lot of uncertainty of what is going on in the loan game as far as mortgages are concerned. That's why I lean on my friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. They have been in business for 20 plus years here in the Valley. They only lend in Arizona. They are trusted. They'll get you that reliable quote. And if you're thinking about refinancing, whether it's to just lower your rate, maybe lower the terms of your rate, maybe down to 15 or 20 years, or if you're like, hey, we got a lot of debt on the side, we got some problems going on, we want to consolidate debt, or I've always wanted a pool. Now's the time to do it. Take some of that equity out, refinance, and get things done around your house that you want. But you got to use the best in the business. That's the Lund Mortgage Team. 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or check them out online, lundmortgage.com.
Contractors need bonds, and the professionals at Constructors Bonding have been Arizona's leading surety management team for 40 years. We don't just deliver bonds, we make your bonding better. As the #1 producer with 14 markets, Constructors Bonding has the relationships and expertise to get you better capacity, better rates, and better terms. For better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929. Or visit cbialliance.com.
Download our podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Don't be that guy.
Arizona's new exclusive home for live NFL games and Super Bowl 55. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on 1580 99.3 The Fanatic. Don't forget, we got playoff football for you all weekend long. And also, each win means that that much more the NFL playoffs. That's why FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking up new customers with 30-1 enhanced odds for the divisional playoffs. Bet $5, win $150 on any team to win any divisional playoff game. I think I'm going with the Packers. Can't believe the Packers are going to just kind of roll.
About 100%.
It's a simple and easy-to-use app with generous promotions each day. And when you win, FanDuel will pay your winnings in as little as 2 hours. If you've already got the Sportsbook app, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with $50 when you refer a friend. So, for example, if Jeffrey and I would have done this correctly, he would have got 50. I would have got 50. He was a new user to FanDuel. And if he would have used Randy 1580 and used a special link that we have there, then he would have got a 50 spot. I would have got a 50 spot, and we would have been much happier. But you can be happy if you have the Sportsbook FanDuel app. Just make sure that you refer a friend. You'll get 50. Your friend will get 50 too. Don't miss your chance to win $150 on a $5 bet when you use my promo code Randy1580 when signing up. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Use promo code Randy1580 and pick your divisional playoff team before kickoff. Remember, you've got to be 21 or older and present in Arizona. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. A max bonus of $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
888-368-1580. I'm confused by a text that we have right now. But I've got a lot of text to catch up on, too. Chief Skulls Burner says, afternoon, guys. I must retract my statement earlier today that said Keon must go. He didn't. This is your first text today, buddy. He says, I must say I like Keon, his steadfast attitude, and that he keeps Randy even-keeled. No, in fact, Keon must stay. It's the autocorrect in my phone. That must go because instead of Keon, it was supposed to be Keim must go.
Keim must go.
Oh, I see. I think he said that days ago. I don't see your Chief Skull. Do you have another personality on this thing? Because I don't even see the original Chief Skull on here. So
how many personas do you have, Chief Skull?
Yeah, what the hell, Chief Skull?
Yeah.
I don't see anything on here from that.
But I'm glad you don't want me to go, though. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well,
none of
being
us do.
here.
I mean, I don't want you to go.
Booger Wolf says, do you guys think Kyler even cares what he did to the Cardinals? Or do you think he's at home eating a popsicle, jumping on his trampoline without a care in the world? What do you think?
Here's a little on whistle for you.
Yeah, I think Kyler cares a lot.
Why a whistle?
He's at home eating a popsicle, jumping on his trampoline. Give me a break.
It's not a short joke. It's well established.
He most certainly is. He's implying that A, he's immature, and B,
he is immature. He's sitting there on his little gamer thing. It's like seems like he's more into playing his video games online. And our kid here has played against him. He's good. But it seems like he's more interested in that than he is in being your Cardinals quarterback.
I just think that he's not somebody that handles adversity particularly well. I don't think that he doesn't care. I actually think he cares a lot, but the way he reacts to adversity isn't helpful. It doesn't help the team. Quite frankly, it doesn't help him, and it makes him look bad. But I don't think it's because he doesn't care.
I think that what's going to happen here, he's going to start having a reoccurring dream where Bruce Lee comes to him and says, please take me off. Please, no. Please take me off your pads. That is not good for my image. The ghost of Bruce Lee wants to distance himself at this point from Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Sun Devil Niner says, it's the Cardinals. Who cares? Fish Tank says, pretty soon here, there's going to be an application to text on the text line. And the only question is, are you a Niners fan? And if you answer yes, you'll be immediately blocked. It's not a bad idea.
There's no truth to that statement, but it is a great idea.
There's no lies there either. That might be coming.
If you saw what me and Randy had to go through the last week
Oh my God.
With just the flood of Niner fans.
I've learned to filter it. You don't get every text. You don't get every text that comes to the text line. Most of them, but not every one of them. There is a point where it gets very, very tiresome. Kiss the cooks. Oh, geez. I can't. I'm not even going to. That is an amazing meme. And I'm not going to even explain it or describe it. But well done, Kiss the cook. Let's see. Chief Skull's burner. I already read that. Senior Wake and Bake. Nah, I'm not reading that. See? Just did another one. Boomer Sooner says, hey, guys, after thinking about it for a little while and retracting Kyler's footsteps, the guy, I think he means retracing, has never freaking lost until he got to the pros. If you think about it, the history, I think he just doesn't know how to handle it. Oh, boo-hoo, Buckaroo.
Yeah, I mean,
if that's how you handle it, then get the bleep out.
That was like when you were on vacation. I think didn't we do we did something similar with Pete Carroll, and we said the same thing. He's like, I'm just not used to losing. Oh, too bad, Pete Carroll.
I have less empathy for Pete Carroll because Pete Carroll is old enough to where, okay, you may not have lost before, but surely something bad has happened in your life that you can figure out how to compare that and figure out how to navigate through hard times.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a
still
few.
24, but
you know what? Seeing Pete Carroll look a bit stunned because he doesn't know how to lose, I don't mind that. But was he whining about it? No.
Yeah, he was.
He was talking to the media afterwards, and he was
was he?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I just don't know how to lose. That's why
he walked out of a press conference because they were asking him too many hard questions. He's like, you know what? I'm done. And then he came back in. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm so grouchy. I'm not used to all this losing. Oh,
well,
shut it.
He's part of the problem because, as you know, he used to be a USC head coach.
and also he is the head coach of that football team. So it's if it's a mystery to you how you're losing and you're not good at it, then I don't know. Stop it.
You guys should have briefed me on some of the things you talked about while I was gone. The Maniac says Kyler just came up a bit short last night. That's all. He'll grow into his role over the next few years.
Wasn't a bit short. He got his ass kicked anyway.
He's
Against
going
the
into
spread,
year 5 of the contract, by the way. So there's not much growing left to do.
Against the spread says the Cardinals got destroyed because the NFL caught up on their offense and Hopkins was out. Just look at the average point totals through the season. After week 9, huge production drop off right there.
Yeah, I agree.
It's called make an adjustment. Do you think that the Cardinals are the only team in the league where teams figured them out halfway through the season? That's everybody. Figure it out and make an adjustment.
602 Pat Stan says, that's how I felt about the Patriots on Saturday. But they actually started playing good in garbage time. But, man, our defense stayed behind in Foxborough. Wilbur says, I went to bed pissed off and I woke up pissed off. Something's got to change. Something's got to change. I would tell you to look at it a different way.
Oh,
but
damn.
Jagdog says, Jeffrey, are you saying the Packers win? It's a lock. Pretty damn close. I just don't see how the 49ers should beat the Packers. Anything could happen. I don't even know what to make of it. I can't
good
believe
football right now, man. Playing good football.
I can't believe that they are still in the playoffs and our teams aren't. I mean, that right there, that's enough for these guys to crow about for years to come, I guess. But
no, only just this year.
Well, this week. But here, with that in mind, let's talk about the NFL Fan Pick'em contest from Harmon Solar. Here are the standings right now. I currently still hold the lead with 195 correct picks. Cards Chappie holds the lead for listeners at 188.
He's right there.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say right there.
Well, because every round of the playoffs, there are fewer and fewer chances to catch up.
But there are 7. He's 7 games behind me. I would have to completely just lose everything. He'd have to win everything for him to beat me.
So you're saying there's a chance then?
There's always a chance. Absolutely. That's why I have the list that I have here on this piece of paper. You can't see because of my green screen. But Cards Chappie is next with 188. After that, Raider Royce with 186. Rough Rob, Monday QB, Mile High Guy, they're all in range. You've got 185, 185, 182. Now, down below that, there are some people who still have a chance if they do well. and these other guys do poorly of trying to make their way up to second place, maybe even first place. It's not likely, but it's possible. But yeah, right now, I guess Cards Chappie must have lost a step with some of the people behind him, or they gained on him. But yeah, it's close. Their first place is now within reach for more than 4 or 5 people. Wow. Second place in reach by people like Big Steve, D. Stasinski, Dirty Rat, and Skoll. So, yeah, this has just got interesting in the Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em content. I try to
can't do it. Yeah, can't do it. Just forget it.
Just trust me.
Yeah.
Last week, I only got 5 right, and Ralph got 6. By the way, we're not doing any more weekly jersey winners, but Ralph from Harmon Solar, he actually won the week overall. Now, a lot of people got 6 right. An awful lot of people did. But with all the tiebreakers and stuff, whatever the case, he won the week. Now,
congratulations to Ralph.
No jerseys because we're done with that. But
no, he's got plenty of filthy jerseys. He's got his damn Sea Chicken jersey. He's got that nasty USC jersey. He's got a terrible, awful Rams jersey. Yeah.
Let me tell you, if there's ever a week you want somebody to have COVID, that was the week, because he had COVID too. He was telling me the week before, he said, man, if the Seahawks win, I'm bringing banners. I'm going to have everything. He still might do it next week.
Well, it was his Super Bowl after all.
Well, I'll tell you what, he deserves it. If he still wants to do it, I'm not going to stop him. I think that right there, with all the crap that we put him through, he deserves it. But Randy, you got 4 right. Keon, you got 5 right. Boogie got 6 right. And
way to go, Boogie.
So, yeah, like I said, though, there's about 10 people who are in range for either the first or second place prize. So pick well, pick wisely.
Who's in range for that 30 pack that we're giving out?
I can't remember how we're doing that. Who gets the 30 pack? Third place?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody, all the people that I just mentioned earlier are in range, because somebody could fall, somebody could go up. So it's anybody's game, man. Anybody's game. And that's kind of cool at the end of the season.
See, I think Radio Ron should give a 30 pack to the third place winner, and all hosts named Randy should get another 30 pack.
You're not even anywhere near the top. For the second year in a row.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm losing
Randy
money here.
Is my name, and I'm a host, so that means I get the 30 pack.
You realize
Radio Ron should just buy me one.
Over $3,000 I've lost in 2 years because I can't win the main prize. $3,000 plus dollars.
Oh no! Please keep going. I've skewed the sad, terrible, heartbreaking.
Listen,
music.
I was talking to the butler earlier, and he can't believe it either. It ain't right.
Oh no!
He was on my side.
He was hoping you'd cash in so he could get a bonus.
Of course, sir. I can hear him now. You're crying about, I've lost 3,000. Of course, sir.
I'll alert the media. I am the media. No, I'm not. No. So my wife, like I said, she says, well, you should start betting on it. I'm like, nope, because I will never pick correctly again if there's money on it. At least that's in my head. Maybe after I spend some time on DraftKings and FanDuel trying out my hand, maybe I'll start to feel more confident, and maybe next year I will.
You're very analytical. You're a guy that likes to look at all the trends and numbers and stuff. That is you.
It's a hobby.
I'd rather just smoke a cigar and drink a glass of whiskey. So
Gorilla Toe says, name a quarterback who makes everything about himself and who's more worried about the eye black under one eye, who wins big games.
Okay, well, you made it specific to the eye black. If you take that away, there are a lot of quarterbacks currently playing right now that make everything about themselves. So
Aaron Rodgers.
Right, that's who I had in mind when you started reading. Immediately who popped into my head. So that can't possibly be the metric. You got to play well and you got to be coached well.
A lot of Packer haters on Sexloid. Another Lost Toby says, Packers winning. It's a lock. Everybody wants me to say that. Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, you should root for the Titans. That way your allegiances are going. The Titans will get crushed this weekend.
Well, if you just go Titans win, it's a lock, then the Titans will lose.
Nah, it's not always happened. I don't believe in that. Hot Chub Time Machine says, hello, all. Do you realize that Los Angeles has 14 points prior to the Cardinals having positive yardage? That was not good.
Yep.
Pink Eye says Rams got better mid-season. They added Odell and Von Miller. Cardinals should have been active and added extra help mid-season too.
Yeah,
I blame Steve Keim.
I mean, they went out and got Zach Ertz. That wasn't nothing.
Lost Toby is correct. Says Kyler Murray is pinfly. Oh, intern says Chief Skull said that on Twitter. That's when he said that about blame Keon. Blame Keim. Got it. Thank you. Blissful Hayes says, can Kyler Murray grow into a normal-sized quality quarterback? Boomer Sooner says, Jeffrey was kind of refreshing. I've seen a couple Oklahoma Sooner football players that are moving on to the pros. Kind of backlashed on these kids leaving because Lincoln Riley left. I mean, they're jumping on these kids like, come on, you committed. I don't understand what you're going on about.
Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner.
Yeah, all right. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. Recently, Clayton Kershaw passed the great Don Drysdale on the Los Angeles Dodgers all-time list for all-time strikeouts. He's now number 2 on the list. Who's number 1 on that LA Dodgers strikeout list? The answer is coming up.
Sports updates on Phoenix teams, sports trivia about Phoenix sports, top picks, and much more. All at phoenixsports.digital. Here's a bonus sports trivia question from Nick LaCapria's Sports Trivia Library. Who is the last National League team to win 2 World Series in a row? See the answer at phoenixsports.digital. Your source for all things sports. phoenixsports.digital. Log on now.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz, name the all-time Dodgers strikeout leader, the great Don Sutton. Sutton also has the most wins in Los Angeles Dodger history. And of course, he pitched for the Los Angeles Dodgers for many, many years. Kershaw's approaching, but right now, Don Sutton, all-time Dodgers strikeout leader.
Each win means that much more in the NFL playoffs. That's why FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking new customers up with 30-1 enhanced odds for the divisional playoffs. Bet $5 to win $150 on any team to win any divisional playoff game. Just sign up for the FanDuel Sportsbook and make a deposit to claim your 30-1 enhanced odds. Already have a FanDuel Sportsbook? FanDuel is hooking all customers up with $50 when you refer a friend. Plus, your friend will get $50 too. Don't miss your chance to win $150 off a $5 bet when you use promo code DALE1580 when signing up. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app using promo code DALE1580 when signing up. You must be 21 and over and present in Arizona. New users only. $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. Max bonus $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. So good, you got to try it. With Straight Talk, you can get our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month. Now with unlimited high-speed data, plus 5 gigabytes hotspot data, and no contract, with nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot for your data when you can get unlimited for a whole lot less? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability coverage and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
AZ Preps 365 is your headquarters for all things high school sports in Arizona. Brett Quintine, James Mello, and Jose Garcia keep you up to speed with all the action, highlights, interviews, and insider information for the prep sports scene. You need to tune in to AZ Preps 365 every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your new home for sports, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com. KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K242 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside my heterosexual life partner, Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I don't know how much more time I can do today.
Okay.
I am fading fast. Yesterday, came out guns blazing, and wow, that took a lot out of me. And today is no different. Although I know that people have seen that on my screen, I've been running with some fake backgrounds because for the first time, good God, in I don't know how many years, I actually have to sit while doing the show. No, I don't sit when I pee because I know those are the jokes that are coming next. But this COVID thing ain't no joke. It's going to be hanging on me for a while, and I'm just doing my best to be in here. This is what it really looks like behind me because I am having to sit instead of stand. I have one of these liftable tabletop things that I use when I do the show here from where I'm at. So I just figured this was not as nice a background as, say, this or something else, or just the station, or just blur everything out. I don't know. So that's, I may step away here in a bit, but I'm going to hang in there as long as I can, whether you like it or not, really. 888-368-1580. Thunder Snow says, oh my God, Jeffrey's alive. Well, welcome to the show, Thunder Snow. I'm still here for the most part. Hamilton Porter says, okay, now it's looking more real. Harbaugh to the NFL. Raiders or the Bears? You have to think Bears almost, right? He played for the Bears.
I don't know, because the owner of the Dolphins has talked about Harbaugh in the past. So that's an option too.
And he tried to do the little obfuscation of, well, I'm a Michigan man, so I would never hire Jim Harbaugh away from my school. But that seems like if you had a guy who you thought could help your football team win football games and help you get to a Super Bowl eventually, and you thought that Jim Harbaugh was that guy, I don't see why your college would stop you from hiring it.
I wouldn't mind if Harbaugh showed up as the Texans head coach or the Jaguars head coach, because I think he's going to stink at being an NFL head coach like he did last time. And everybody's like, well, he went to a Super Bowl. Shut up. 888-368-1580. Hamilton Porter says, I will always love Byron Leftwich for winning the bowl game on one leg.
Yeah, when he played at Marshall, they had to carry him all the way up the field.
Oh, yes. Okay,
iconic sports moment.
Blissful Hayes says, you know, that Aaron Donald, DJ Humphrey fight, that's a perfect example why all the players should be mic'd up during games. Then get rid of the needless and useless announcers. I get what you're saying. The entertainment value would go way up, but here's what I'm saying. Just mic everybody up. So then when we need to know what the hell was going on down there, we can go back and hear it. So then we know what DJ Humphrey said that made Aaron Donald try to strangle him.
That I would pay money to find out what he said.
Yeah. I don't think I need to hear it the entire time. By the way, those F-bombs being dropped to Nickelodeon, hilarious. Last night with the Manning cast, I guess Peyton didn't know his microphone was working. He's like, nope, I can't hear bleep. And Eli's like, never mind. The funny thing is, I think Peyton saying that was worse than Eli giving the finger. But still, it's on basic cable. Nobody's getting in trouble. But tell you what, with that kind of nonsense, these guys will never get prime time.
It was simulcast on ABC, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't on ABC.
Oh, it wasn't on ABC.
The game was, the regular game was, but the Manning cast was over on ESPN2.
I saw it on the ESPN Plus, actually.
The Deuce. Cowboy Sparky says, coming out of the hills. Okay.
Congratulations.
Are we supposed to? I feel a little worried now. I feel anxious now that I don't know what that means. Are you coming out of the hills? Like in the horror movie, The Hills Have Eyes? Is that a movie?
That is a movie, yeah. I've never seen it, but I know it exists.
Mr. Pringle says, worn out from talking on the radio. Good thing you don't have a real job. I agree 100%, Mr. Pringle. You try talking for 3 hours straight. It ain't no easy feat, but compared to what all you guys do for a living out there, I absolutely 100% agree. This COVID thing, and then if you had to hustle back and get to a real job, oh my God, I have the utmost respect and sympathy for anybody who has had to go ahead and do that. I'm never going to say that we don't work real jobs because we do more than just this show. But you know, when you're out of practice, 3 hours of talking like this, Yeah, well, here's a good example. I do most of the talking on the show when I'm here. When I'm not, Randy had to step up. And I guarantee you, I'm sure he didn't talk about it because he's a tough guy. But I guarantee you, he'd get off the show and be like, damn, even, because he had to talk nonstop for 3 hours. Right, Randy?
Yeah, well, yeah, my throat was okay. It was my brain fog. It was my mashed potato brains.
You still have the brain fog too, or is that just part of being Randy?
I think it's part age, part leftover COVID, and part of being Randy.
Choro says, "LOL, we need some Randy hot mic moments." Well, guys, here's the news.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They will remove us from the air. That's
thing is, they're like, well, you should do a daily blender after dark, or behind the scenes thing where you hear all the stuff we say off air.
You don't want to.
Yeah, we'd be fired immediately for that.
We wouldn't even make it on basic cable.
Yeah, we're not saying anything bad about like Radio Ron, but
No.
some bleep does get talk here. And we're smart enough not to do it in front of an open mic.
Yep.
Unlike some. Choro says, oh, snap. Radio Pal had the vid. Sorry, bro. Get well soon. Yeah, I was down for a good week, and it's probably going to be another week before I feel like my old self again. But again, you're right. You're right, Pringle. I should. I'm not meaning to complain. I'm just letting you know. Hamilton Porter says, I'm a cancer psychologist for 9 hours a day. I understand the perils of talking at work all day.
Wow.
So you're a psychologist for cancer? Just tell it to go kill itself.
I think the people who have it is
you should be more specific. A cancer patient psychologist. If you say you're a cancer psychologist, it's like, are you a psychologist only for people born at that certain time of year? Or are you a cancer
with the cancer? With the cancer.
Hamilton Porter's job sounds really confusing to me.
Here, Hamilton Porter. A little whiskey for you.
Cowboy Sparky says, no, exactly. 49er fans coming out of the hills now. That's what's happening. Yeah, they certainly are. But I never would have imagined they would be in the playoffs, let alone having won a game. Reaper says, how about those Rams? Hope you had a good weekend. Yeah. Random Texture says, with the whining and crying Jeffrey's doing about losing $3,000, the pick'em contest, someone should put a Dallas Cowboys jersey on him. He'd fit right in.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Like whining and crying. I'm just stating the fact that if I didn't work here, I'd have $3,000.
Except
settle down just a little bit.
It would be more like if you started crying around week 12. Since you'd have to start crying
because it's so early,
long before the pick'em contest was even over.
Yeah. Those people were pathetic. Chief Skull's Burner says you can change this number to Chief Skull because the other number doesn't exist for me anymore. Okay, so now I don't say Burner anymore. I just say Chief Skull. Well, are you a drug dealer? Why did you have so many phones? Or are you just what's going on with you? Blissful Hayes says, Jeffrey, I hope all those clot jabs you took aren't making you sicker. What?
I think he might be talking about the vaccinations, clot jabs.
Oh, you poor stupid person. If it weren't for the vaccine, I'd probably be dead right now. The way I've reacted to the COVID. Cliff Dingleberry says, did you get the COVID before or after you gave me a hard time for my amazing fantasy season? I don't know.
It's been a while.
Probably caught it on Thursday. So whenever I announced it, that's when what's it matter? You sucked. It doesn't matter when. And I'm going to have to hand you a giant $25 check at some point, and you're going to have to cash it. The Jet says, hi, gentlemen. Welcome back, Jeffrey. Cardinals game. Pathetic. Can I take the week off like Jeffrey did when his team lost?
It's up to you, not up to us.
I give you my permission. Take the week off. Ookla says, hey, Randy. Hey, Keon. What's up, Radio Pal? Can you believe they fired my coach? He should win Coach of the Year for winning those 4 games.
Yeah, David Culley, Texans head coach. He's one of the surprise firings, too, because I don't know what they expected out of him.
Yeah.
They brought him into
Did
coaching.
They really fire him? David Culley and the Texans, They did hire him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
I keep thinking he replaced somebody. No, that's the Jaguars.
No, he was a coach with the Ravens and came over to Houston.
Yeah. Chief Skull says, "What you don't know won't hurt you." Hamilton Porter says, "Okay, more specific. Psychologist only for people who have cancer and are dying from it. Whiskey is appreciated." There you go, Hamilton Porter. Good work you're doing too, by the way. That's got to be hard. Like emotionally and just across the board. That's power to you, buddy. Baker's Cocky Hen says, "Speaking of, did the prize delivery for Fantasy League get delayed due to COVID?" It sure did. It sure did. I just got the final piece of information from one of the super fans. I have sent the sheet over to Ralph from Harmon Solar, who's also recovering from COVID. So I'll check with him here in a little bit and see how those prizes are going. Everybody but Dingleberry is getting a check mailed to them. The Dingleberry, we're giving him a giant $25 check for being the worst player in the Fantasy Football League in person, because that's how you should always be humiliated, in person.
All right.
Good Cat says, "I'm just tuning in. I just can't. Vance's defense is a freaking joke, and Kyler was terrified the entire damn game." Well, you can't blame Vance for that, but his defense wasn't that bad the entire game, but enough of the game where they got steamrolled. First, they got steamrolled, then they got their act together, then they got tired because 3 and out is going to do that to you. So
yeah.
I'm not ready to go ahead and put this blame on Vance Joseph and or that defense. Booger Wolf says, "I bet Kyler Murray also already put some time in the batting cages. Dude can't play football, plain and simple. Aaron Rodgers is crapping his pants right now. Niners own Rodgers in the playoffs. Fool is 0-3. Yeah, just not this year.
Those are different teams, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Unless you think that the Niners are going to run on the Packers
I don't know.
like they did in years past.
I don't mean to bring up any pain here and to thump any scabs that might be scabbing over here, but that's what everybody said about the Jaguars and the Colts, and look what happened.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying it's a 0% chance. I'm not saying the Niners can't win, but who is heavily favored to win? Oh, it's the Packers, and they should.
I was making a point, not trying to injure you.
I was trying to talk right past it to see.
Could talk about the Cardinals and the Lions. Why didn't you use that as a?
All right, that's a good point.
Talk about Washington football team and everybody.
Cardinals and Lions. Look at that.
That would imply that they're supposed to beat everybody.
Oh, that's a good point.
And that's not true. They're only supposed to beat the Giants, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
There's somebody saying something about the Niners beating the Green Bay Packers.
Big Kev says, "Jeffrey, analysts are saying the Niners are the worst matchup for Green Bay. Keep in mind, they would have best Green Bay with a defense missing key starters had they not allowed them to get into Crosby Field goal range. Guys that were out week 3 are expected to play Saturday night." You guys say whatever you want. Yeah, Packers are going to win this game. Now, here's the question. The 49ers, I'm giggling at them because they have to face the Packers, but I'm really laughing at the Rams as they face the Buccaneers. I really think the Buccaneers are going to curb stomp the Rams.
Well,
probably more than the Packers will curb stomp the 49ers.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
That I don't feel great.
I don't know because the Buccaneers, although their defense has been good, they're still pretty thin over the top, and that's where Matthew Stafford and the Rams play their best games, over the top. I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a close game.
Fifth letter, no, you do not qualify for a jersey because the week you won and we were not giving those away. And so, yeah, the prize you never got a chance to collect. The T-shirt and the hats is still there, but you'll have to hit me up for, something else when you finally get around to coming to the studios, because after you wait 30 days, that stuff gets put back into the pile. So fifth letter, I get it, but yeah, we'll take care of you. Just communicate with me on that one. Lacrosse guy says, sorry, Randy, Cardinals suck. Pour me a keg of Guinness, please. Welcome back, Jeffrey. And thanks for the jersey. You guys are the best. Oh, good. You got your jersey. Boogie says, I want to win the 30 pack. Well, then you need to strive really hard for third place. Cards Chappie says, tuning in a little late, but you guys nailed it on Keon's first down. Kyler showed that in high-intensity moments, he reverts back to his pouty ways and defeats himself, to include taking a sack without being touched. He has not risen to the occasion yet. Can we pick up Russell Wilson? I think anybody would say yes if they had the opportunity to picking up Russell Wilson. Who would say no to Russell Wilson?
Absolutely nobody. It would be hard for you as the Cardinals because there's no way, if the Seahawks have their way of figuring out where Russell Wilson lands, he's not landing in the same division.
Royale with Cheese says, release the hounds. Okay.
On who?
Probably Randy's dog. Lost Toby says, speaking of winning, when am I supposed to get my jersey? I don't know. You need to send the dude who contacted you an email. And if you don't hear from him, send me an email. We've sort of poked him a bit to be a little more attentive. So Chorro says, don't overthink it. Pack win big. Okay. I agree. 602 Pats fan says, there you go. He jinxed it. Mr. Wilbur says, sorry if I'm repeating old news, but you guys see where the Seattle Seahawks fired their defensive coordinator, Ken Norton Jr.?
I did see that this morning.
That's fair.
The defense was really bad.
Yeah.
It's hard to justify keeping him around if you're going to keep that coaching staff in place.
King of Kittens says, Jeffrey, last Friday on the air, did you say if the Colts lose, I won't be here Monday? I was kidding. I would have been here if I had not had COVID, but yes, I did say that. Baker's Cocky Hen says, those are the same expert analysts who said Rams wouldn't beat Cliff. I went 6 for 6 this weekend myself. Jet says, Matthew Stafford has not had 2 games in a row where he looked good. He's going to fall apart against Tampa Bay. He's playing against Brady, and he's going to have him with his panties in a wad.
I will say this. I'm not sure that that game is going to be a blowout. But he's not playing Brady. He's playing that suddenly healthy Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive front. And so they're weak on the back end. But if they can get the pressure to Stafford early, that's where I worry about leaning on Matthew Stafford for anything.
Mm-hmm. Rough Rob, if you don't have your jersey yet, send the guy an email. The guy who contacted you, send him an email. Let me know. Reaper says, we have players that we didn't have. We played them in week 3. Yeah, that's got to be a 49er fan. Random Texture says, you know what's sad? I don't think Kyler Murray even would have been a success in baseball. He's a career 261 college baseball batting average. I think he needs to open some football camps. His claim to fame is he never lost in high school.
Kyler was really good this year. I don't know where I'm criticizing him for his body language. I'm criticizing him for a lot of things that he earned in that game where the pressure got to him and he just didn't handle it well. He panicked, that pick six that could have just been a safety. That was panic. That wasn't a person who was thinking. That was a person who was just acting because they were terrified.
Yeah, like I said earlier in the show, can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't you blow a whistle on me. It's a figure of speech.
Kyler's currently ranked the 4th quarterback in the NFL.
So you got to figure out what mentally went wrong with him at the end of the season. You got to figure out what goes wrong with Cliff at the end of the season. They got to do some forensics on these Cardinals and what happened in this last chunk of the season, and
I would
figure out how to fix it.
I would agree 100%.
I got my ideas. I'm sure you guys do too. Choro says, exactly. If they can get pressure on Stafford, he's going to lose that game. What do you think about the Rams run game? Will it be enough to make the difference? Listen, you can do what you want on offense against the Packers. Won't matter because the Packers offense is going to do what they want to do against you. You have to, they don't mind a shootout. And guess what? Most of the time they win those shootouts. The Jet says, thanks, Jeffrey. I just went on the CDC website, and now if your team loses, you could catch COVID. What? I don't get it. If my team loses, so you're saying on the CDC website, if your team loses, you're more susceptible to COVID? That's scary.
There's a joke in there somewhere, but I'm not finding it. I don't get it.
Fish Tank says, I'm sorry, this Cards Chappie say Kyler hasn't risen to the occasion. Feels like last night having Josh Rosen would have been about the same. No, Josh Rosen would have been, you had 3 wins. Forget it, guys. Knock it off with that. Straight Striper says, unpopular opinion here in the Valley, but it's great to see Stafford win a playoff game, though through his adversity. Kyler should get his number and reach out and maybe learn something.
Well, we are talking about a guy who was 0 for 3 prior to that game. So maybe Kyler's just going to have to take his lumps. Like maybe that's what it is. But I don't know if there's anything Matthew Stafford could tell him to help him figure things out.
Lost Toby, send me an email and we'll figure that thing out. Okay. All right. Must take a break. I don't know what we're doing when we come back. I got COVID fog. We're just going to do the Daily Blender. What do you want from me? 1580, the Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
All the matchups for the NFL divisional round are now set after the Rams picked up the win against the Cardinals on Monday night. 2 games going to be coming up on Saturday. The first game has the Bengals traveling to Nashville to take on the Titans. Tennessee, a 3.5-point favorite, over under at 47. And then the 49ers and the Packers, the second game on Saturday. Green Bay, a 6-point favorite, over under at 47.5. On Sunday, Tampa Bay, a 3-point favorite against the Rams, over under at 48.5. And Kansas City, a 2-point favorite against the Bills, over under at 55. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the girl from that alien movie you watch on demand. Our worlds have been brought together thanks to DirecTV Stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Over 500,000 service members, veterans, and their families call Arizona home. If you're currently serving in the military, are a veteran, family member, or supporter, we need your voice in the Arizona Veteran Survey. Visit connectveterans.org/survey. Help prioritize more support at connectveterans.org/survey. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veteran Services, and Arizona's Be Connected community.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. 800-807-1981. That's 800-807-1981.
It's NFL playoff time.
You know what time it is, baby.
And your home to the NFL has you covered. Follow along with all the action, all the drama, all the glory of the NFL playoffs. That's not all. The Fanatic is your radio home of Super Bowl 56, live from LA. When it comes to the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl 56, we are your NFL playoffs headquarters. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
You know, Jeffrey, there's no question we will be carrying the Super Bowl live now, right?
No question at all. No question. We got the Rams and the Buccaneers Sunday morning, afternoon, whatever the hell time it is.
Yeah.
And Bills and Chiefs on Sunday. We got on Saturday, got the 49ers and Packers. We got the Bengals and Titans over there on Monday Radio. No more blackouts due to Cardinals being around. So I guess that's a positive.
Yeah. I'm always trying to look for the positives.
Dr. Roadmap says, could it be that Kyler's teammates are not wild about him? A Napoleonic complex could wear thin after a while. There is some speculation that that's why Larry Fitzgerald didn't hang around and play, because he didn't get along with him. I don't know if that's true or not, but boy, I'll tell you what, anything you need to see, you saw on the sidelines of pouty little Kyler Murray sitting there on that bench, looking shell-shocked, and didn't exactly see him talking anybody up or anybody talking him up. So yeah, something seems like it's going on there, Rough Rob says the Cardinals needed Antonio Brown yesterday. Yeah. But he was crying hurt, so I guess there's no way that was going to happen no matter what. But you're right.
Yeah, I don't know that having Antonio Brown would have helped that offense. They were struggling to run the football. They were struggling to even get plays off. I don't think that having one receiver turns the tide of what this game was for how unprepared they looked when that game started.
He's increasing his appearances. Used to be every 3 months. Now it's been 2. Joe the Show is back. Says, call me crazy. I think the Rams beat the Bucks handily. Okay.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I doubt it. The Jet says, have you seen the odds for the games this weekend? Vegas must be very tightened up as they lost some money this year. All games are like 3.5 points, 3 points, except for Green Bay. They're picked to win by 6.5. Also, all the, at least last time I looked, all the home teams are favored. Over the weekend, all home teams won except for one. So I guess now it matters. For a while it didn't. Now it does again. I don't know.
Yeah, well, in the playoffs, things are a little bit different. It's a little bit more intense. And I think that little extra, hey, we're sleeping in our own beds. We're going through our normal game day routine where the other guys have to figure, the routine of being in our city.
It does crack me up that the 49er fans think they can beat the Packers. Chag Dog wants to remind you guys, hey guys, Jimmy G has got a shoulder injury. Bosa hasn't passed concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Warner's a game time decision, so don't be too cocky.
Yeah. I don't know if they know how not to be. That's the only issue there. I don't think Niner fans are wired that way.
You guys watched the Manning cast last night?
No. I did, actually. Maybe my second one of the entire season.
There's a lot of time where you're watching it and it's just awkward. They are not broadcasters. And then there's some times where some interesting things get said. And, of course, they have these guests on. And I'll tell you what, Russell Wilson, boy, he could be a great broadcaster someday. Mm-hmm. That guy, and he's smart, has a lot of presence. And, didn't like that he cried when he won the Super Bowl. Oh my God, I'm so proud of my guys. Shut up. But outside of that, I think he did a great job. Rock.
He's very articulate.
The Rock was on there too.
Yeah.
Plugging at already failed XFL because it's going to fail again. And what people noticed is over his shoulder, there was a T-Rex skull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I noticed that too. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I wonder what that is. I didn't realize it was an actual full scale T-Rex skull. And they asked him about it. He says, oh yeah, that's Stan. Stan, they found him, the most complete T-Rex skeleton ever unearthed. They found him and he recently sold to an undisclosed person for $31.8 million at auction and to an undisclosed buyer. Now, here's the thing. You can buy a replica of Stan's skull for $11,000. That ain't chump change, but it ain't $31.5 million. Mm-hmm. And everybody was saying, oh my God, he's lying. He's telling everybody he's got the original. All he said was, that's the skull of Stan. He wasn't making a big deal out of it. No, The Rock was not misleading and lying to you. No, that's not the $31.5 million version, or else you'd seen the whole thing back there. All he had was the replica skull, but still $11,500 ain't something small. But I kind of want one, but I ain't going to spend that much money on it.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely really cool. just to have in the man cave.
It is certainly a conversation starter, is it not?
Yeah, somebody else posted up said you can get this on Amazon for like $150. It's like I love Amazon. It's probably about this big, but it's how bad the game was that the Rock's T-Rex skull behind him became a huge scandal on the internet last night.
That was like the second quarter.
Yeah.
Do we have to talk about this? Can we just move on, please?
We'll move on. So as you look ahead, the Bengals at Titans, the 49ers at Packers, the Rams at Buccaneers, the Bills at Chiefs. Here's some information that may or may not affect how you pick the game. Derrick Henry, he has been cleared for contact practice. Who said he's been practicing for 2 weeks? That's not true. He's just been cleared for contact practice.
He was cleared last week, so he's already got a week under his belt.
No, I just have a thing where it says this is the first day he will practice in pads. He may have been out at practice, but not in pads and not in contact. So Vrabel says watching how he does in the contact practice will go a long way in determining whether or not you see him on the field. So whatever you think you have heard, he may have been at practice, but he was not in contact practice. And that's going to be the real test right there. So keep an eye on that.
And they've already invested a bunch of money in him. So that to do that with a running back, you've got to be very careful because we've seen what happens when some of these guys fall off, like Ezekiel Elliott and Todd Gurley. They never really get back to that former glory. So they got to be really careful with Derrick Henry because of how important he is to what they do.
So let's talk about Bruce Arians slapping the bleep out of a player. Do you guys have a problem with that?
No, it's not like he had his helmet off and Bruce Arians slapped him in his bare face. It was kind of like his forearm thumped the back of the helmet.
Well, he open hand smacked him on the helmet once, and it didn't look like it wasn't like to cause injury or anything weird like that. He was trying to get the guy's attention, and then he gave him a little forearm there, trying to still get his attention. He says he has no regrets about doing that. He says, I've seen enough dumb. You can't pull guys out of a pile. We just got a big play, great field position, and he's trying to pull a guy out of a pile, and I was trying to knock him off of that guy so he wouldn't get the penalty. I've got zero problem with that.
Yeah, I don't have any problems. It wasn't like he was trying to demean him. He was trying to get his attention. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I mean,
of course, now the NFL and the NFL Players Association have no comment on this because, with the whole Urban Meyer kicking the kicker thing, all the namby-pamby people got their panties in a bunch. Oh, a coach has put his hands on a player. Okay, there's a difference between putting your hands on a player and putting your hands on a player.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This is just, they're going to probably quietly say something to him, say, hey, you need to say something. They may give him some sort of a BS punishment on this, but no, listen, man, that come on. No player who ever played in the game of football is going to get mad about that. You know what he's going to say? Oh, sorry, coach.
Yeah, it was one of those in the heat of the moment, get off this guy because you're going to cost us yards. And you can't play the game of football, a game we call the game of inches, knowing that every yard and every inch and every piece of turf that you try and gain, that matters. And then have a guy about to commit a stupid penalty and you don't do anything. Bruce Arians is not Cliff Kingsbury. He's just not going to let that happen. And he didn't. And I don't see what the problem is. I really don't.
This is the only way you can figure that Bruce Arians is not from Florida. He's a Georgia guy, isn't he? The reason I say that is if he'd been from Florida, he'd have said he had no regrets.
Well, that's just the mistake that the Floridians make when they have to tattoo anything on themselves.
Right. I don't think he's going to tattoo this at all. Hey, what the hell happened to Malik McDowell? He's running around naked getting arrested.
I'm sorry, what?
Malik McDowell just got arrested. It was caught on video. And he's a defensive lineman for the Browns. He played this season. And I think it might be the drugs or he's crazy, but he's running around naked and trying to fight with cops and stuff.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. I've actually seen his face today because the mugshot was going around on Twitter, and I didn't understand what the context was because he just looks completely out of it in the mugshot, just spaced. Is the only way to describe it.
cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on his own, or there's been some sort of chemical additive to make him cray-cray. Yeah, that you go immediately to crazy or on drugs when a guy's just walking around naked, Because
yeah, I mean, wouldn't you have to?
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a time where I've been like, I'm going to need to be naked for this. Outside of the bedroom. Like, yeah, all right.
I can think of a few opportunities. I'm gonna need to be naked for this.
I'm going to the library. Gonna need to take off my clothes. Just
who hasn't done that, Jeffco? Come on.
I'm in line at the Golden Corral. Gonna need to be nude for this.
Well, see, now Golden Corral is disgusting enough when you're clothed.
Yeah, you should be in a full body condom for that. Yeah. So whatever it is, I hope he gets some help on that. I don't know if it's the drugs or the crazy, but either way, poor guy got to get his act together there,
or the CTE, which I don't think excuses everything, but
can explain some things.
Yeah, it sure can.
Hefty Lefty says cocaine's a hell of a drug. Let's see. Gamecock says, late to the show, used to think Murray was top 5, but I probably take the guys over him this year. Rodgers, Brady, Allen, Herbert, Stafford, Jackson, Burrow, Mahomes, maybe Cousins, maybe Wilson over Kyler Murray. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that.
I waffle a little bit on the Cousins thing, but everybody else, yeah.
Oh yeah, Cousins, get him off that list.
he's one of these things was not like the other.
How do you put Wilson so far down that list? That's what I'd like to
do. Yeah, maybe he was alphabetical. Boogie says everything's better when you have no pants. Yeah, maybe for you. Boogie. Not for us.
Not if you're trying to avoid prison.
Joe the Show says, I know, right? I just got that feeling that put it all on 3 and roll the dice type of feeling. Of course, it's still Brady, but I don't believe Tampa is going to get down. Also, San Francisco fans are delusional. Aaron, not going to lose that. LMFAO.
Laugh my Lincoln face off.
What? Flinking.
Yeah.
Just I think that starts with an F. Charles says, Radio Pal, just win the pick'em and you'll have half the money for Stan. That's not half the money. Your math is really bad. Unless I get the $150 version on Amazon. Cowboy Sparky says, is Kyler saying today playoffs? Playoffs don't talk to me about playoffs. No, I don't think Kyler's talking to anybody except for on Twitch. Big Kev says, just curious, what was the local viewership for Cardinals game and Suns game last night? Is there a chance the Cardinal fans that are Suns fans change this channel for the remainder of the game?
Maybe. A very big chance, yes.
I think there's more of a chance they turned off the TV and just started drinking heavily. It was really, really bad. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we've got On This Date in Big George's sports history and some other nonsense. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So yeah, I used the savings from switching to Progressive 50 years ago to finally buy my dream car. It's a self-driving flying car, but we just say self-flying now, because it's the future and cars fly in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And I'm the girl from that alien movie you watch on demand. Our worlds have been brought together thanks to DirecTV Stream.
Why are you whispering?
Because the alien will hear us.
Maybe let the alien know you can get DirecTV Stream with no annual contract.
He seems pretty excited by that, actually.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at directtv.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Contact varies by package and location. Restrictions apply.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Cyber criminals are out to steal your information. Hackers profit by stealing your confidential, financial, medical, and corporate intellectual property. Privacy Lock is the industry's leading cybersecurity solution for Windows-based computers. What most Windows-based users don't realize is how vulnerable they are to attack, be it through the keyboard, camera, microphone, speakers, or even clipboard. Privacy Lock is the only solution on the market that locks down your camera, your microphone, your speakers, your keyboard, your clipboard, and even prevents screen scraping spyware. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has been a leader in proactive cybersecurity solutions for consumers, small to mid-sized businesses, and enterprise companies. The best way to stop hackers from stealing your privacy and data is to prevent it in the first place with the industry's most secure endpoint protection solution, Privacy Lock from Strikeforce Technologies. Go to privacylock.com and use promo code RADIO to get an additional 15% off. This offer is only good until the end of January. Go to privacylock.com now. When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I think I rushed a little bit when I started making bets on DraftKings. I downloaded the app. I used Bet 1580. I got 56 to 1 odds on any NFL team that I bet $5 on. I can win 280 in free bets. You can do the same. Go get yourself the DraftKings app and use promo code Bet 1580. And I think I rushed through it. Now I'm starting to like, oh, geez. So now I think I need to go on there and make some more bets. You know, I don't
you have the betting bug, do you?
No, I feel like I need to make some other bets that are smarter than the ones I just rushed out and did to try to be ahead of what I feel might end up being losses. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
You know, after this first round, I'm going to settle down and use the Josh Applebaum version of things where you only do 3% of your chunk bets and that sort of thing. I'm never going to go crazy with this. I don't think I'm going to end up with a gambling problem, but I do have a little bit of buyer's remorse in the decisions I made when I was just like, I got a betting app. Click. Oh, it's that easy. Oh crap. It's already done. It's already happened. I thought that'd be are you sure you want to do this moment?
They absolutely will not do that.
Yeah. And I'm just like, hey, click. That happened. And I'm like, okay, can I really trust myself with the COVID cloud in my brain right now? And
It was easy. Let me do 20 more.
so yeah, that's going forward. I'm going to take a whole lot more care with my bets. But I do want to experience some in-game betting. That seems like it'd be pretty fun. You know, just for the experience. Now, I know Josh Applebaum warns against parlays, so I probably won't do that very much. He warns against certain types of things and also play to your strengths. So straight up money line bets are probably going to be where I'm going to do well. I'm pretty damn good at picking stuff, but I do want to do some prop bets too. Super Bowl is going to be fun. Let's just say that the Super Bowl is going to be fun using these betting apps. But instead of all these $5 bets that I've done, and here I am thinking big spender, $5, other people will be like, child, please. Child, please. $5. You may as well have done 10 cents compared to what I lose over here. Listen, this is supposed to be fun for me. This is not supposed to be lose my house kind of thing. And, you know, I'm not going to make enough money for a house. This is just to make things more interesting and fun. Listen, you know, like you see those TV commercials with old coach Marucci there, have a certain amount of money that you you can use for fun, for entertainment. Stick to that. Stick to your game plan. Do what you're going to do. And that's what I plan on doing. I'm going to be very deliberate, very careful. So yes, I was like a balloon on a windy day on my first bunch of bets, but after that, I'm going to settle this thing in. It's a new experience for me. And listen, if it's a new experience for you, absolutely give it a shot. Just, know what you can afford. Don't go beyond that. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use promo code BET1580, and you get 56-1 odds on any NFL team. You could win $280 in free bets if the team wins. So remember, 21 years or older, Arizona only. If you got a gambling problem, it's 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Thunder Snow says, you think Bad Grandpa is walking around with no pants? No, I think Bad Grandpa might have gone the way of Betty White. We have not heard from him literally in years. I can't believe you guys still remember him all these years later. King Kenton says, tacos. Yes, it is. It's Taco Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to get tacos, but
Miss Kim just walked in with a whole bag full of tacos.
Hey.
So I'm having Taco Tuesday tonight.
Where from?
I know the name. I can't think of it. I blame COVID.
I had some burros over the weekend.
Carumbas, I believe, is Carumbas, I think, maybe.
Good Cat says, I have an admission to make. I will admit, I am a bad fan. I turned the game off after how easily the Rams scored the first 14 and how horrible the Cards offense was looking. Not a bad fan, but it's kind of understandable. I mean, turning off the TV and not being able to watch after you've seen how bad things are going, okay, that's a normal fan. Now, if you ditch your team, that does make you kind of a bad fan, I don't know. Yeah. Is it wrong? Again, we come to this conversation where people are like, that's it, I'm done. And they dump their team and they go get a new one. And in some ways, it's like,
I don't even know. That would be a bad fan to me.
But you're grown up. You can make your own decisions, do what you want, be a fan of who you want to be a fan with. And after you've taken so much crap from your team for how many years, shouldn't you be allowed to just say, I'm out. I'm going to have a new team now.
Last night, I turned the TV off in the third quarter, turned it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was texting with my son and my stepson, and I was saying, honestly, I don't know why I continue to root for Arizona teams. Now I'm going to continue, but I mean, what am I, sadomasochist that I keep doing this?
I mean, I wish I could I could tell you what the answer to that was.
Keon gets me.
I was watching my nameless football team be curb stomped by the Dallas Cowboys in that one game, and I stopped watching. There's at some point you go, I've taken enough abuse today. I definitely can't come back today. Now, people who change teams, I wish I could understand what the mental process is of letting go. Maybe that's just how I'm wired. I'm just loyal to a fault, unfortunately, where I'm stuck with these teams. But I have good memories with them. I think that's the reason why I stick around, is that there are good times. It's just the bad times are so impossibly bad that people question your judgment.
It's easier for me because I have a couple of Super Bowls. You know what I mean?
I imagine that's nice. Yeah.
With the Colts. And, I've been through really bad times. I've been through really good times with them. Poor Arizona Cardinals, they don't have a championship. And first, it seemed like the owner was always in the way. Now it just seems like, I don't know. You just can't seem to catch a break, It's tough. So, but yeah, I mean, at first thought, you're like, no. You pick your team, you stick with your team. You be a good fan. You hang in there. Then the other part of it is, why do this to yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend who was a Washington football team fan with me 10 years ago. And I remembered exactly. It was 2009. I forget exactly how the season ended, but I remember the conversation with him where he just called me and he was like, I'm done. I'm rooting for the Buccaneers now. I'm moving to Florida. I'm changing teams right now when I'm moving. I can't blame him. And he's been happier ever since.
King of Kenton says, I got a TV and a radio in the bathroom too. Second half, I got in the shower, brushed my teeth, got ready for bed, watched, listened to the end of the game, but I was doing other stuff too. Well, you're a multi-functioning fan. You're not a bad fan. Big George says, Randy, as a fellow Arizona fan, I can confirm that we are all sadomasochistic as we continue to cheer for our local Arizona teams. I like the pain with my sports teams. Well, now Big George has gone too far with that.
Yeah.
He's had so much pain, he started to like it.
Added maybe a little leather to the situation. It's gotten out of hand.
Hey, Big George. Matt Leinart.
Yeah, somebody's going to get called daddy here in a minute, and I'm feeling uncomfortable.
And I'm already uncomfortable with you.
Hey, speaking of George, let's go ahead and take care of business right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history.
Kevin Cobb. Big George.
Back in the year 1950, Bob Feller. I just wanted to do this one because I like the name Feller. Asked a Cleveland Indians manager to lower his salary to $45,000, which was a $20,000 pay cut, because he believed his subpar record of 15-14 did not merit a pay increase. The right-handed future Hall of Fame pitcher rebounded the following season. How you like that? Guys is like, you know what? I'm not playing up to what you're paying me. Please cut my pay.
Big George. Max Williams.
Was that like a motivational thing for Feller? Or I don't know. It seemed, I don't know. Nobody would do that today. Nobody would do that today.
No. But even if you wanted to, even if there was somebody who was just that, they had that much integrity and they were ready to go. Even that person, the players union would show up at their door and be like, what the hell are you doing? You don't give money back.
And his agent, okay, now I get 10% of less. Thank you. How about Josh Rosen, Randy? Does that name turn on Big George?
Josh Rosen.
He's just been saying painful Arizona decisions.
Bruno Baller says, let's not forget, we have the Phoenix Suns. They're a legitimate contender for a championship.
Yes, we do.
Paxson. Good Lord, I'm not that bad, says Good Cat. I'll never pull a filthy Phil and dump my team. I can see both sides of it, though. I can see, hey, be a faithful fan. And the other side, you know what? I've had enough of this abusive relationship. It's time to move on. I'm a strong, confident woman. I don't need no man. You know what I'm saying? So I can see both sides of this.
I do. For me, it's just all of the. It's a journey, and part of me feels like I'm getting off the ride early if I change.
Hefty Lefty.
Ryan Williams.
Hefty Lefty says, considering there are still Lions fans out there, I don't think anybody has an excuse for ditching their team.
Big George.
Good point.
Beanie Wells.
Chris Beanie Wells. Oh, no.
Hey, if you guys are done being naughty, can we spin the wheel of sports, maybe? I think I've got some time for some wheel of sports.
I think Kevin Cobb is what got him.
No, Big George came back at you with Randy. Levi Brown.
I
feel like Keon and I should just leave. Let you guys have the room.
You want to talk dirty?
It is
Levi
dirty.
Brown.
I think Josh Rosen should be like the orgasmic climax of this weird sadomasochistic makeout session you got going. Did we spin the thing?
Yes.
So clown ass Jake Paul, who I thought was hilarious when he was like, I lost $3.5 million. I bought this box of cards. It was supposed to be Pokemon. I opened up, it was G.I. Joe. I thought it was hilarious. But then, of course, somebody gave him his money back, which was a shame. But so now, and I'm not going to call Jake Paul a fighter. At some point, a real fighter is going to show him what a real fighter does. But he keeps fighting these retreads, these never wases, never should be.
Boxing guys who do not box.
Well, now he's got Mike Tyson on the line for a $50 million fight. I don't know how much money each one's going to make, but they're expecting that the fight will make $50 million. Tyson says he's in. Jake Paul says he's in. They still have to do some paperwork on this thing, but at least that is the word on the street in Vegas that there will be a Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight.
Oh, jeez. And this is where all the recompense will come on Jake Paul.
I don't think so.
Be over for him.
Nope. Sorry, I said this wrong. Jake Paul versus what's left of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is not the same person he used to be.
Okay.
And I feel like Jake Paul has a legitimate chance to actually beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah. And I one that I don't think he should feel good about because even though it's Mike Tyson, he's no longer Iron Mike Tyson. He is a 55-year-old man.
It's like Andy Kaufman when he went out wrestling women. And you shouldn't feel good about that either. And listen, Mike Tyson back in the day, oh yeah. Mike Tyson beat the hell out of me easily enough right now. But Jake Paul, he's at least able to fight. And Mike Tyson is old.
I will give it to Jake Paul. He takes fighting very seriously. And he's 6'1", like 220. I mean, he's in shape. And he does take the craft seriously. He just doesn't fight anybody.
Big George, Andre Wadsworth.
What would be funny is if Mike Tyson agreed to fight Jake Paul, they kind of talk behind the scenes and fix the fight, and then Mike Tyson out of nowhere destroys him.
Nothing would make me happy.
I was just kidding. It's the end of him. It's the end of him. Hefty Lefty says Santonio Holmes. Good Cat says John Skelton. Matt Leinart.
Oh, John Skelton. My God.
David Boston.
King Kitten says, if I get a chance to wrestle women, I feel pretty good. Yeah, I think we all do. All right, guys, that's it for the show. Randy, George, you can take this sexiness online. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's the NFL playoffs and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner.